At the break of dawn, in the middle of the Arizona desert, a crowd of strangers meet for one purpose.
You guys coming out here to help me out, I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart.
To help another stranger, a father desperately searching for his 24-year-old son, Daniel Robinson.
Since he was a child, he liked to challenge everything.
He was born with a challenge.
And I wanted to introduce him to prosthetics because he's born one hand. We quickly learned that that's something that Daniel don't want. He let nothing stop him. He decided to be a geologist once he got into freshman year in college. He excelled that, he graduated with honors.
Daniel's first job is checking the viability of water wells in the Arizona desert.
He loved this area, of course, because of the rock formation. You're a geologist, this is the best place to be.
But the terrain became a hellscape for his dad when Daniel went missing back in June from his job site. And what number search is this?
This is search number 14.
Navigating the dangers in the desert, the Army veteran knows firsthand time is of the essence.
When I called the Buckeye Police Department, they told me that I had to wait an extra 3 hours because they had a 12-hour, report time when you can say a person is missing. Then I called them back and put in a missing person report. I got very worried. That's when I got very worried. I asked the Buckeye Police Department to go out and search that area. The officer told me that they were going to send a vehicle out there, a helicopter out to search for him. I was relieved. And then he called back an hour later and said, no, it was a no-go. I'm his dad, and he's my son. I've lost all sense of reality. At that moment, I said, you know what? They're not going to look for my son. I'm going to have to do it myself.
Before he arrived, police did decide to search on foot and with helicopters. This is the last place your son was seen?
The last place.
What do you think happened, David?
I think a lot happened here. I'm very suspicious.
But he doesn't know what. A month in, there's a break in the case, and police call Robinson.
I got afraid, actually, that it's going to be some bad news. He said, no, we just found his vehicle.
Some ranchers found it, and then at that point, we conducted our investigation and additional searches.
What was the condition of the car? If it had rolled over, it sounds like it was pretty bad.
Yeah, the car was on its side. The sunroof was kicked out at that point, so he might have exited through the sunroof.
His wrecked car in a ravine, both airbags deployed, Daniel's cell phone, clothes he was wearing that day, and a case of water all found at the crash site. But not Daniel. People don't just disappear into thin air.
True.
Does that sort of feel like what's happened to here?
Yes. Yeah, it's very, very challenging case.
No matter how much the family asks for this to be a criminal investigation, can you make that happen?
We can't make up evidence. Absolutely suspicious circumstances related to the case.
Frustrated and heartbroken, Robinson hired a private investigator. Where are we going?
Down here is where the vehicle was recovered from.
Is that the glass from the car?
Yes.
When you looked at this accident, what are the discrepancies that you noticed right away?
I believe it was in more than one collision.
What does the data from the black box of the car tell you?
That there was 11 additional miles on the vehicle since the airbags came out.
What does that tell you?
That tells me it was crashed somewhere else.
Does that sound suspicious? What explains that?
Well, we had the national expert that came in and provided us his findings, and then they ended up speaking to an expert at Jeep, and the expert says, yes, sometimes that happens, and it's not unusual.
But the data also shows someone tried to start the car 46 times after the crash.
That's something we can't explain.
It begs the question, again, the family is saying it's criminal. It's got to be a reason danger. Do something.
Right. No, I agree. But we need information. We need evidence.
He's got a lot of theories. His words, I think, were, I don't think they cared. What do you say to that?
Couldn't be furthest from the truth.
Losing hope, Robinson began pleading for media coverage.
It literally took 3 months.
While Robinson searched for his son, the country became riveted by media coverage of another missing persons case, the case of Gabby Petito.
In my situation, people think I love our children less or something, or they're less important.
In 2020, more than 543,000 missing persons records were filed. More than 480,000 were cleared. And 40% of the missing are people of color.
There are a lot of Gabby Petitos and Natalie Holloways in the Black and brown community.
That's why former police officer Derica Wilson co-founded Black and Missing Inc. and says too often their cases go untold. Eventually, local stations did stories and citizens began helping search.
Did you know Daniel?
No, I just wanted to help.
You're just helping out a stranger on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Why?
You know what? I can't imagine what that man's going through.
As the search for Daniel goes into its 5th month, another family is in the midst of a terrible mystery for a 5th year. The family of Nikki and Ariana Fitz.
Ariana is very energetic, very happy.
2-year-old Ariana went missing under the most suspicious of circumstances in the San Francisco Bay Area in 2016. Her mother, Nikki Fitz, was found in a shallow grave in San Francisco's McLaren Park, but Ariana was gone.
It breaks my heart that Ariana's not with her mom and Ariana's not with her family, but it also breaks my heart even more is that I know that Nikki wants nothing more than Ariana to be with us, to be home.
Tessa Fitz says she is convinced her niece Ariana was taken by people close to Ariana's mother. San Francisco police searched for weeks. They had some leads, but no arrests. A digitally altered photo was made of what she may look like now.
And she's 8 now. I don't want to see this in a picture. I want to see her face in person.
Should Ariana Fitz be a household name like JonBenet Ramsey?
Absolutely. Why is her case any different from Kaylee Anthony? I can tell you, the color of their skin is the only difference.
For 5 desperate years, the family has continued searching using flyers, social media, and Black and Missing Inc.
Do you think it has anything to do with color?
I try not to put myself in the mindset of the race issue with her media coverage. All I want is for there to be the media coverage for her. I think she deserves that.
The Fitz and the Robinsons want only one thing, with hugging their missing children once again.
Do you think that Ariana is still alive?
I do believe that Ariana is still alive, and it would mean everything to me to know where she is and to find her. I wait for that day every single day. I believe that day will come.
How long will you search?
Till I find my son. I have to. I mean, he's my responsibility.
Sarah Seidner, CNN, Buckeye, Arizona.
Government officials That BNC Live has been following from the beginning. A father continues his mission to find out what happened to his son.
Daniel Robinson vanished in the Buckeye Desert.
Daniel Robinson went missing in the Buckeye Desert.
Urgent plea from a father who has scoured the vast Arizona desert himself.
4-year-old Daniel Robinson. And this is a very, very odd mystery.
Daniel Robinson disappeared on June 23rd in the far West Valley.
His parents, David and Melissa, need our help.
I'm David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson.
His name, Daniel Robinson. And leading the search, not law enforcement, but Daniel's father, David.
God knows how much we can bear, you know? And at times I feel like I can't really take but so much more.
Where is Daniel Robinson?
And identify they were human leg bones.
But you know what? It's still urgent to me as a father because, we found human remains out here.
David Robinson had only one thought on his mind as he drove the nearly 1,800 miles from his South Carolina home to Phoenix.
I had to find my son. I also want to thank the volunteers that come out here every weekend, volunteering their time. And, without these special people behind me, I wouldn't have a search.
How does a young man vanish off the face of the earth? How does that happen? No record, no sightings, nothing. He's just gone. And when I say a young man, I'm talking about 25-year-old Daniel Robinson. He is the apple of his parents' eye. A young geologist, music lover, good-looking, great grades, the works. So why can't we find Daniel? I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. And his dad, David Robinson, is using the GoFundMe money to fund his own investigation and the desperate search for his boy, his son, Daniel Robinson, 25 years old. What happened to him? How did he just disappear? David Robinson, sir, thank you so much for being with us. Tell me when you first realized your son just hadn't called in a couple of days, that he was truly missing.
Yes, my son, on the 23rd, I did get a call from my daughter. She also lives out in Phoenix. And at times I feel like I can't really take but so much more.
But in his weakest times, David says it's the volunteers that provide him strength.
Everybody know that I call them my extended family. And so this video is the same thing. We all here have one common goal, and that's to find Daniel and also to bring light. We'll have the other families.
As the Robinsons' extended family light candles tonight, their collective light shines towards that day when their question is answered and Daniel comes home. Josh Sanders, 12 News.
When the lights and camera turn off, I will be here. When the interest and conversation fade, I will be here. When there's no one around, a father will do anything it takes to be there for his son, to protect his family.
Daniel Robinson went missing 4 months ago. This is the last photo his family has of him. He's a 24-year-old geologist, last seen leaving his job site in Buckeye, Arizona.
As the Gabby Petito homicide case garners national attention, another young person has been missing for nearly 3 months, and his family is desperate to find him. 24-year-old Daniel Robinson, a geologist, was last seen on the morning of June 23rd, leaving his work site in the desert of Buckeye, Arizona.
David Robinson had only one thought on his mind as he drove the nearly 1,800 miles from his South Carolina home to Phoenix.
I had to find my son. Hello, everybody. I'm David Robinson. I'm the father of geologist Daniel Robinson, coming to you to do another Q&A, the Q&A Primetime. I really appreciate you guys coming in this evening to join in with me to hear about my son's story, as well as your questions that you may have about his case. I would like to answer those things and also give you my insights and things I think about this case and think about what's going on with everything about this case. Again, my son, Daniel Robinson, a geologist, graduated from the College of Charleston in Charleston, South Carolina. He's a native of South Carolina, our entire family. He graduated from the College of Charleston with honors in the field of geology. He took his degree out here in Phoenix, Arizona, to start his career and start his life. He landed his first job with a company called Matrix, engineering company called Matrix New World, also called Matrix Southwest Groundwater. They hired him on as a field geologist. For those who do not know, he's a field geologist, also called a hydrogeologist. He go out to various well sites all over this Arizona, the state of Arizona. Sometimes he works in the night, sometimes work day, but he get his assignments. But his job is to check those viabilities of those wells, to get water level measurements. Each well in here in Arizona is a desert state, have to produce at least 100 years of water by law. His job is, and his company's job is to determine that. That's why they hired him on. He's also had to get those rock sediment, get those samples at those wells as well to make sure that the water is drinkable. What type of rock sediments are coming out of that well. So those things have to be tested in the lab. Dane's job is to do that, collect those things and do all that kind of stuff that he do as a scientist. So definitely very proud. My family is very proud. Daniel's mother is very proud. His siblings are very proud. The family is very proud of Daniel's accomplishments. As you guys know, Daniel was born without one hand. He from his childhood, he always challenged everything, always challenges himself to do better. Daniel, of course, for a family standpoint, it was one of the things that parents, we do look for when our child is born, is for them to have everything, right? But Daniel showed us one thing for sure. He just asked a question about his hand one time to his mother. His mother gave him an answer to that. Let him know that God will return it back to him one day. God, he have a special hand, and God's keeping it for him. Daniel asked that question again. But I can tell you, Daniel been teaching himself things like playing video games to always challenge his older brother, his older sisters, twin sisters. They challenge each other on everything. They always talking about, the science. We come from a science type family. Everybody talking about science stuff. Daniel played video games, challenging him on that. Challenge him, like I said, academically. Want to be, even from playing the instrument, he taught himself how to play the French horn. That was his first instrument. Also played the trumpet, dabbled a little bit on trombone. Also, Daniel had tried a little bit of sports. He tried to do things like lift weights as well.
He did a lot of the stuff. He challenged himself to everything. He also challenged himself when it came to the college. Every time I look around when he was younger, he always gets some type of award, whether it's academic all-stars and things like that, some type of academic award. He made it to the College of Charleston in his freshman year. He had an idea of geology, but he took a class and he fell in love with it. From that point, he graduated with honors, like I told you guys. While he was in college, he lived a college experience like anybody would. I never lived a college experience. I was off campus. Daniel was on campus, so he lived a college experience with his friends. Gained a lot of friends. He's a founder, one of the founders of the chapter in the fraternity that he belongs to. And also, like I said, this is being able to go out and explore and do things that he really enjoys. He finds ways to do that. Daniel, like I said, also is a family oriented young man. He loves his family. He loved his grandparents. Like I told you guys before, you probably heard me say this one time before. Daniel, even through the COVID time, came to South Carolina just to see his grandparents. He stepped outside the door because he didn't want to make sure he stayed outside that window, though, to make sure he kept them safe. But that's just the way his character is. He's a person that can bridge the gap between family members as well. Try to make sure that everybody is getting along with each other. So, Daniel's he has that character. Like I said, he definitely loved to hike. He liked to do things, explore. He liked learning about other people's cultures. So he's really, really in tune with that as well. He wanted to travel the world, to be immersed in other cultures and things like that, just to learn different stuff. So that's his goals in life, as well as he want to be a millionaire before he turns 30. He's an entrepreneur. He thinks of his future in that direction. So Daniel have a lot of plans for his life. Dreams and aspirations that he have yet to accomplish. My goal is to find my son and to make sure that he get to accomplish those goals, those dreams and aspirations that he started off. He made Arizona great again, and he came out here to utilize his skills to help the state out. So we love the state to help him back, help me find my son, and do everything they can to help me. I've been fighting for over a year. You guys know I came on June 26th to fight for my son. My daughter and I, we was traveling around here in Arizona to try to get all the answers. We didn't know. Well, my daughter been here a little longer than I have, of course, because she came out to Arizona after Daniel moved out here. She wanted to start her life out here as well. But she only been out, so she still was learning herself, learning about the state, learning about Phoenix at the time when she was living in Phoenix. And so she and I would go around. We didn't know anybody, but we had each other. So we tried to work with the Buckeye Police Department as much as possible. At the beginning, we traveled all over. All over Phoenix to Buckeye, you name it. We was following leads, all kind of stuff going on. You guys, that was initial. Before I was able to get those desert searches going. Once I got those desert searches going, she was out there in the desert with me for a while. She brought her sister from California, came down, her and her husband, and we had to search. And that's when it dawned on me. So you guys have been doing these searches, especially those who've been out there with me on those searches, spending your time, your money, your love. I really appreciate every last one of y'all family. You already know that, each and every last one of you, from my search coordinators to a person who comes out just to do a line search. Your family, so I say it all the time. I really love each and every last one of you. Nobody different. I'm really grateful. But my daughter, my family, her siblings, her sister, and her sister's husband came out. And the one thing that dawned on me is the fact that we're finding human remains out there. My daughters called me on the radio saying they was in a separate area from me in the desert at the time, and she called out on that radio and said, "Dad, we found some remains." And my heart went because the first thing I think in my mind, my children's over there looking at some remains, because we didn't have found human remains, but we got there. Thank God it was animal remain. It was a cattle. But it dawned on my daughter said, "I'm glad it wasn't Daniel." As soon as she said that, that's when it dawned on me. My children don't belong in the desert. They don't belong in the searches. My family don't belong in the searches. I belong in that search. I have been in Afghanistan. I had to deal with certain things in life. Of course, it would be a lot different situation. My son is found out there in that condition. That's something to burn in my mind for the rest of my life. But my children don't need to have that for the rest of their life. So definitely, I wanted to make sure they're actually remembering Daniel the way he is, the character person he is, and all of that. So I want to make sure I protect my children, make sure they're well protected. So course, the guys, if you haven't seen them out in the deserts, I'm talking to those who've been out in the desert searches, haven't seen them in a long while. Those was the reasons why I had put a forbidding them from coming out there for that purpose. Of course, I wanted to do other things, flyer distribution, find those type deals, but definitely that desert search out there was one of the things right from the point where I started off as a rescue mission, working really hard. The volunteers and I, we put long days out there in that desert, 118 degrees at times, and put them days in trying to rescue Daniel. And then after, reasonable time, I had to come to the reality of the truth. And that reality of the truth is Daniel will not be walking around that desert with or without clothing for almost 30 days without water in that type of condition without perishing. So long story short, I turned from a rescue mission to a recovery. So that's one of the things I explained to the volunteers when we was out there, but we still work hard to try to bring Daniel home. So if he's out there, I'm praying you guys. I still have my faith and my hope that all this is for no reason out there in that desert. But that's the last place we had to go by one narrative that was given to us by one guy, the last person that seen Daniel since he went missing. So we're going by that narrative, whatever he put out there. It hadn't been scrutinized enough. You guys already know what I'm talking about. And that's the reason why that brings me to what I was going to talk about today. You guys, I will take this Q&A today and talk about the well site. I want to talk about the well site and talk about the story of Ken. That's what I call it. And I want to give you guys my insight of what I think and what I believe. I'm going to say up front, I'm not calling anybody a liar, but at the same time, I'm saying I don't believe the story. So you can take that in the kind of way you want to. It's probably double talking, but that's exactly what I built, and I have my right to not believe that story. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up, and I want to show you some of the reasons why. And I'm telling you some things. I'm going to show you something about the well as well. I'll be talking about Buckeye Police Department as well. To give you a little background, I've been begging and pleading this department to help. You can put on the front side of my website to welcome to every search that I had out there. They choose not to do so until two searches. I requested, had to put a letter in, CC'd all these city managers to you name it, to Chief Hall to ask him, can he send his office out there to help? He finally agreed to one of those that first time. And then I asked him to help. I asked them to come bring specific things I needed out there because they didn't come to the search, they couldn't help. I say, hey, law enforcement, we have to do something. So I wrote this letter to them requesting certain things. I needed cadaver dolls. I needed underwater cameras to check these wells. I needed to go check these mines that I was finding out there. The volunteers and I, just all that kind. We needed drones. We just need certain things that I need to provide for those searches out there. So I wrote that letter. He sent those officers out there empty-handed. 5 of them. They always come with that funky white razor. We had enough razors out there. I need them to do their job and bring some equipment. I needed those dolls. I needed those cameras. I need those things. They came empty-handed. The second time I did so in January, asked them again to come out with certain specific things. We found some vertical mines that need to be checked. 2 of them would actually end up being 4 of them, but 2 of them at the time we're thinking. We had a couple well sites, so about 4 well sites we thought was well sites. The 2 are definitely well sites. The other 2 was mines, like I said. But we needed those things checked. They say they're going to do all of that stuff. Came out partially empty-handed. When I say partially empty-handed, they came out with one thing, some type of makeshift camera. They had some guys come from Maricopa County, I guess some posse or whatever they call themselves, with some kind of makeshift camera that they put down into not the well site they said Daniel was missing from. And I'm going to explain that to you guys as well, my theory about that, but not the well site they say allegedly he was missing that, right? But the other well site that's north of that one, they was able to put their camera down in there, right? They put it down in there, but they had a camera system that can't even touch the water. Couldn't touch the water because it's not an underground camera. They thought that I was going to be okay with them taking some camera. I could have did that with a GoPro. Take the camera down to the surface of the water and then pull it back out and say, oh, nothing to see here, Mr. Robinson. You can move on. No, that's not how you do things. You have to do things properly. You have to spend money. These guys was volunteering their time. Buckeye Police Department decided not to even spend money on that. So I had to get a company to come in to look in those wells. And I'm going to share the videos with you guys. You guys, some of you have seen it before, but I want to share the 2 videos with you of the well site they say Daniel was missing at, and then the one that's north, and tell you my thoughts on this and the reasons why. Also going to give you a video where it's going to take a little while, so I'm trying to rush through it real quick. You guys, I don't want to take up too much of the Q&A time, but the first video going to be showing myself. Excuse my appearance. I just got through doing a hard desert search. The volunteers have left the site, left the area, and I stayed behind. I do that often. I did that often. Sometimes people don't know I'm out there in the desert by myself, but I've done that often where I had to go do my own investigation as well, do my own research and things like that. So, but this was one of the things that I thought the Buckeye Police Department should have done, really vet that story very well. That means if you have to drive it and feel it yourself, feel and look what this man's story is and see if it is consistent with reality. Is it consistent with all the information that we know so far? Some things you guys just don't know. That is some things that I have in the background that I do know. So try to see if all those things consistent and why the reason why I feel like it's a bogus story. I don't believe it. So, and I'll tell you the reason why as we go through. But first, I want to say also thank you guys for, like I said, joining in. I always put that tip line on the bottom for those persons who may know something, heard something, can say something. So please, by all means, use that tip line and bring my son home. If you know something, let your conscience get to you. Let your heart get to you. Just your humanity. You know, Daniel's a 25-year-old young man, geologist, scientist. Only thing he's doing in life, want to build his life. So, you know, definitely want you to be able to tell me exactly what you know. That's the tip line that says anonymous tip line, 24 hours, 7 days a week, live operators. I pay for that just for you. Not for everybody who's listening to this Q&A, but those who listening to this Q&A and know exactly what happened to my son. That is for you. I pay for that. Live operators that take your call 24 hours, 7 days a week. They'll allow you to be anonymous if you like. If you don't want to talk to anybody, you can still text the word tip from a burner phone if you have to, the word tip to that number, and you still can remain anonymous. A form will come up for you to fill out, and we don't know, have to know who you are to give me that tip. Let me know exactly what happened. Let my investigator know what happened. And I'll tell you guys, if you have 844-602-0660, 844-602-0660 is the number. Also, if you're new here on this Q&A, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button before you leave. Please, that would definitely help the algorithms grow this channel. You guys have got me over 1,000 subscribers. Some perks and stuff come with that. I still want to get to those. But definitely getting Daniel's story out is what the key and the goal is. Get the story out as far as I can. I'm still working on that, as well as the platform and helping other people. So families come on here and I share this story. Their story is getting out as well. I do have the foundation, Daniel Robinson Foundation, that will be launched pretty soon here. And, you know, that with this Q&A as well as some of the other things will be part of the foundation, the efforts with the foundation. Maybe something a little different or separate, but it's still gonna be helping with the efforts with the foundation. So definitely need this channel to grow, try to get to reach as many people as can. So if you can, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Also, if you guys want to help me out, I'm still doing flyer distribution. Like flyer distribution, the flyers look similar to what's behind me on this green screen. Definitely getting Daniel's story out is very important. Like I told you guys before, communication is key. One of the things you have to do is communicate with the public, community. And I say this to families. You have to communicate with the public. The first thing I did is created pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. First thing I did. The second thing I did is, which was counterproductive, is the second website, searchfordaniel.org, had that search website pull up, but it was two different websites, one for the search and one for information about Daniel. So those two I had merged back together because I didn't want to send people all over the place. So everything that the search the website can do, the pleasehelpfinddaniel.com website can do all by itself. Other part is reach out to the media soon as possible. Reach out to the media, get these flyers produced. You guys know how the flyers, let's see if I can got one here next to me, but you know how the flyers are created, and I talk about all the time. My team says about it's purposely made. I just walk around with these big flyers, but these are the flyers here. If you guys can see that, it kind of look funky because of the green screen. It don't shine like that. But anyway, it's gold in color. It just look just like the screen behind me. Only difference is they have a QR code there, and it's small. The reason why I'm holding it up, the size of a postcard. I never get myself right. The size of a postcard. So you guys, and the reason why is because two things. I was doing a distribution. I had a city search, I call it, and we had these big flyers about the size of a notebook paper or a legal paper. And imagine, and then I had them. And then the crazy part is I had them laminated, so it was able to. It's good to go on like the storefronts and things like that, but it wasn't good to give to people. People are not going to walk around with a big piece of paper, especially laminated, in their hand. They're not gonna take the time to fold it up and keep it in their pocket at all time. But with those flyers, they can keep it on their dashboard, they can keep it in their glove compartment, they can keep it in their pocket or pocketbook. So especially with the homeless population, so they put it in their pocket and they can, if they happen to see Daniel in their population, they definitely can reach out. So that was the thinking when I decided to make sure those flyers are smaller, and that's what the thinking's behind it. Have some help, of course, with the design, and wanted to say, you know what, that's exactly what we needed. So had to get those flyers out. That's one thing I encourage families to do as soon as possible as well. Get those flyers out quick as possible, and communication. That's it. It took me 3 months to get Daniel's story fully out there. Working hard with the media. When I say media, I mean the news media. But you know what? It's pushed up enough that it was recognized when the tragedy that happened with the Petito family, that tragedy, and Daniel's that were hard work of getting his name out there enough for it to be picked up, is where Daniel's story ended up. But anyway, I want to go ahead and continue what I told you guys about. Also, lastly, I want to put in here, Rick, on the bottom of the screen. I'm leave that for a while. If you guys want to be a volunteer for my ambassador program, I'm not really putting it out the right way because I really don't get really too many participation just yet. It's very important for those who really, really want to help. Those flyers really need to go out. Those flyers, not just for Daniel, but like I said, for the Daniel Robinson Foundation, eventually being able to help other families who want flyers out there. We want to make sure we get those flyers out as well. So the thing is, for right now, getting Daniel's flyers out there everywhere. I have flyers, thousands of flyers going out different places, all across the United States, all across this country. And just want to get more, because I'm telling you, that one person that may know something, I'm trying to reach that person in Maine or that person in Florida or wherever they may be, Wyoming, who knows, that moved away from Arizona the day that Daniel was missing, is riding down Sunville Parkway or wherever, and saw something that would jot their memory only if they knew that I was looking for my son. So it's very important to get those flyers out there. Very important. So 2 ways you guys can help. You go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com and get that PDF off that page and print them out yourself. That would tremendously help me. As well as if you want the flyers mailed out to you, we'll mail out flyers to you. Please help find Daniel at yahoo.com and request those flyers. Please help find Daniel at yahoo.com, and we send them out to you. Or, like I said, if you guys want to be a part of the ambassador program, you can join me tomorrow at 5 o'clock on the Zoom. Zoom class. I had canceled it last week. I had something come up. But this week I will be there tomorrow, 5 o'clock p.m. Arizona time. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 o'clock p.m. East Coast time. You guys in California, for now, it's 5 o'clock p.m. as well. And tomorrow, all you do is go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. On that front page, you'll see a Zoom link. Click on that, and I'll be there, like Michael Jackson and Jackson 5 say. So thank you so much, you guys, if you can join in and being a part of that program. So if you guys just want to hear, just come out just to hear what I have to say, what my thinking is, how I want to put it out there, and the reasons why. So I want to be able to talk to that. So again, I will be coming to the comment section and answer your questions. You guys, if you have questions, please, like I said, start off with a question with a capital letter Q or a question mark or the word question itself. And as I'm coming down the comment section, I will be able to see it, and I will be able to put your question up and answer. But I want to say real quick, thank you so much, I don't want to say your name, Allegria. Allegria, thank you so much for that super chat. That's really kind of you. I really appreciate that. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for the comment too. Yes, I will not give up, and thank you so much for that comment. That's really nice of you. But yes, thank you for that super chat. That really means. I'm telling you guys, when you guys do things like that, that's really encouraging. It helps with my morale to keep me going. There's a lot of stress in this, and just knowing that you have people support, have people behind you. That's the extra boost that I need, and I really appreciate you so much. Thanks so much for even thinking about myself and the family think about this channel and really contributing to help keep everything going. So I really appreciate that you put that there. So God bless you and thanks so much. I want to go here real quick, you guys, to this videos and stuff like that I want to share with you all before I get too far, because I definitely want to get to these questions. So I want to start off real quick. And like I said, this first video is going to be about my walk, my backtrack. It's not the full video. I did cut it down. So I will come again on the Q&A and probably go just make the whole Q&A about that. But for right now, it give you exactly what was going on at the time. It was right after the search, you guys. So like I said, I might look a little rough. I can tell you that. I'm tired. We was out there in that dirt, and I was looking rough. So you guys see me on there, say, "Oh, you look kind of rough." Yeah, I look kind of rough. But it's right after the search, the volunteers left. I wanted to retract his story about my son, the distance. And the reason why I'm telling you, the reason why I done that is because I was challenging that distance. He said you go one mile west into that desert, which you do, and then you go 2 miles north to get this well site. The problem with that math is the 2 mile north would take you to the second well site, not the first one. But I'll tell you about the second well site when I do the other video, and then y'all can infer those things together. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on now, and I'll talk as it going on. Okay, this is Dave Robinson. I'm getting ready to do a run through of everything that was told to me about my son when he went missing. Walkway here. This is the road. One time ago, this road was called the Road to Nowhere. You probably could tell why. Other than they put a community down on both ends. But this is the gate right here. This is where we have our searches. I have that sign there. I'm getting ready to take that down once I'm done here today. This is where we come in. That's the Cactus Road sign there on the road there. We use that as a landmark, but actually we come in this gate here. So this is the gate here. But anyway, my son came here. Supposedly, this is a story. He met the gentleman here. The only guy that seen my son last at the well site, he met him here at this gate. Story was, the gentleman came from that road there, met my son right here where this U-Haul truck is. Met him out here on the road. And like I said, they had a little conversation, but I was told. From that point, my son got back in his vehicle, his Jeep Renegade. See if I can do this right. He followed the guy down into the well site, and this is how we do it. Oh, I dropped the phone. This is how we do it. This is gonna be a long video. Taking my ride down here, but I'm gonna try to drive fast as I can. Not too fast. It's loose. We do a lot of travel through here, so the dirt is really dry and loose. But I can tell you can see right here, you probably can't see it from the camera screen, but there's a lot of tracks here. There's tracks that we did. A lot of people do come down here now, especially we do our searches and things like that. So y'all's gonna have tracks, right? We didn't come down this far today because we stopped about here because we stopped at the gate where we had our meet up at, and then we went back on the main road and went up north to do our line searches. So we definitely went down here, but you can see all these tracks on the ground right here. These tracks been here for years. I mean, not years, for months. I'll take that back. I don't want to say years. They've been here for months. You can even see the ones right there on the shoulder, right? You can mind you, these tracks didn't happen. They always here. You can see, if you look real good, you can see a track leading off over there. These tracks been here for months. Every time I come down here, you always gonna see tracks on this road, right? Whether it rain or whether it don't rain. Even after the rain, you always gonna have these tracks on the road. So you know where I'm going to. I can't tell you over here to the right here, there's a new well site they putting in. All that wasn't there. They just really starting this new well site there. They already had put one previously. It's another one really closely out there now working, but they did one closer to here. I'll come up to it shortly. But this is the road. You supposed to travel like a mile down here west. What I'm doing is going west right now. Down this road here. All right? Into the desert. We're going farther and farther into the desert. So, again, I am doing the storyline of what the guy at the well told me, not what he told Buckeye. You know, what he told me with the two witnesses I had. Said my son followed him down here, so I'm planning to roll up my son. So I'll be planning to roll up my son, and I will be going down here where I think it happened, exactly how he told me. All right, but I'm gonna point out some things as I'm going, like this right here, this area over here. If I can see it, that's the new well site they're putting in. That's the first one they did recently, and the one I showed you a while ago, that's the second one they're doing on now. But this is that's a well site that they just completed. But anyway, we're going to the well site where my son was supposedly last seen. Now, mind you, you look at the road as I'm traveling, you see all these tracks. We did not make these today. These tracks been out for weeks. So we got some bovines out here, so you can see some cattle. I saw them when I was coming up. Big horn cattle. They out here in the field. One right here on the shoulder of the road. Got like a whole herd of them to my left there, but this is one I got to watch out for them because they will attack and tear up your vehicle. So he's really nervous right now. I'm not gonna mess with the big fella. But anyway, he's probably wondering what I'm doing. But they got him out here, so we have to be careful with that. I tell the volunteers we're out here searching. We stay out of their way, they definitely stay out of ours. They try to get away. Volunteers, even myself, I haven't seen none in a while. But anyway, what I did is turn left. What I meant to say, I just turned off to the right. I turned off to the right, and this is that was a mile down, and I just turned to the right. I kind of missed it where that cattle was sitting on that corner. I just turned to the right, and now I'm going up towards this north, up towards the well site, right? And it's supposed to be 2 miles from that point up here. Now, I should have looked at the mileage right here. This is the mileage I got here where I'm at now. And then I'm gonna put the mileage down when I get to this well site. See if that's 2 miles, right? So it's a little ways up. It's up and down, so you can see this camera bouncing all over the place. But I'm trying to do my best. I don't like to be out here in this desert by myself. You know, a few people know I'm out here. You know, my search coordinator, logistics coordinator know I'm out here. One of the volunteers know I'm not. 2 of the volunteers know I'm out here. But you know, like I said, I'm not really comfortable being out here by myself in this desert. This is where my son went missing. A lot of other people been found out here, so I had to always protect myself at all times. But I do want to let y'all see the storyline. Now, this is the road. You see how tight this road is, so I want to keep that in mind. This is a really tight road. A vehicle come the other direction, it would be very hard for that vehicle to pass. I literally have to get on the shoulder to, you know, let that vehicle pass. Anyway, we're going up. All right. We're almost there. I see the little tank that they used. That tank, mind you, the tank wasn't there. All the stuff wasn't this big. This clearing that I'm driving up now, it wasn't this wide because, you know, we traveled it so much in the past. Of course, the dirt, the road get more defined, and you know, the vegetation's not there, you know, all the kind of stuff. So, so anyway, this is the tunnel. When I get to this point, this is where it stops. I'm looking at the mileage now, so I can look back at it later. And then when you do it, is turn left. Then you got to turn left, right, to get to this well site. So now we turn it left. All right, this is the well site. Right now, only problem is all this right here, this clearing, it wasn't like this. All this brush like you see on the side, that was real close to the well site. But this is the well, right? They say my son was last seen that. They didn't have this tank here. The tank wasn't there. And that's why they cleared this area, because they was bringing this tank in. Because they pull water out this well now. That's why they got this machine on. But anyway, this is the tank. But he said my son was here at this well site, and his story is that they had a brief conversation at this well site, roughly 10 minutes. My son was staring off into the desert. Now you see all this brush, and I'm gonna tell you, now, like I told you, all the stuff that you see right there, all this clearing wasn't here. It was really close to this well site. They just cleared this area. But if you look at this in the summertime, it's green, and he said he was staring off into the desert. Where he was staring off to? Bushes? Why would I be just staring off looking at the bushes or whatever? So I don't know. Okay, let's go with that. Then he said my son drove off from this well site, waved and drove off. Now he's still at the well site, so he can see my son driving off until he gets up here this road where we're about to turn. Once we turn, he don't see my son no more, because you can see how this terrain made. So all he can see is my son traveling up here, right? But what I was gonna say to you before I start, let's say my son went ahead and left and he couldn't see him till he got to the turn up here, this turn. But he said after a while he would go search for my son. Now you see this ground right here, how wide it is. Of course, now he stayed left of the tracks. Let's pretend that all these tracks you see on the ground is not there. And I need to get out the car so you can see how many tracks that it is, because there's a lot of cars. And these tracks are from the many times that people like myself and volunteers came out here for months. These tracks are still here even after the rains that we had here. So he had to literally see all these tracks, none of them been washed away. This is not coming from the U-Haul truck that I just drove. These are tracks that come from months of driving down this terrain, right? And I'm gonna continue to do that also off and on. Let's see here. Anyway, now we get to this T-junction here. Now this is a different T-junction. This T-junction is where you can go up here north, and you can go to another well site, right? And that's the north well site. But I'm gonna go right back. He said my son must have left this area. He didn't say he went up this way. He said he went back to the T-junction and he went right. So if he was talking about this T-junction, he go right. That's the direction Daniel's supposed to go, right? To get to the other T-junction, right? So the well site is back there. We just turn the corner. You can still see the tank over there. All right. Now, mind you, he said I stayed left of his tracks. Now look at this, how this track's made. Again, I made the turn. Now if he's stayed left of the tracks, I was trying to figure out how he stayed left of the tracks. He said he some reason he wants to stay left of the tracks of Daniel's tracks, right? And I'm gonna tell you, you can let the orientation of my vehicle, even if I'm over to the shoulder to the side over here, even over here, another vehicle would not be able to pass right there to both sides. So to stay up to the left of the tracks would be kind of nearly impossible. And the only reason why you got tracks all over the place, because we just drive all over the place when we come up this thing. So nobody, you kind of just stay in the middle or however you want to drive it, right? So again, he drove down. He said, hey, I followed his son and I stayed left of the tracks. I don't know how he did. He said, I stayed left because I didn't want to disturb the tracks. And because if I didn't want to disturb the tracks because I know the police will come looking and this thing is going to turn big. It's going to go national, right? So he stayed left of the tracks. I'm trying to do the best I can to stay left of the tracks, right? Really meaning that I'm really covering some of that other track on the other side, because it's like I said, it's not wide enough to go all the way over to try to, go left of the tracks. And mind you, I told you this place wasn't wide as this either, because they just really started scraping this area again and widening this road for they construction for they bring these new wells in. So it wasn't as wide either. They really just did some digging to try to widen it up a little bit more. But it wasn't like this either. So it's even tighter. It's even narrower back then, last summer. But let's say he said all of this. He kept going. By the way, oh no, I already passed it. But he kept going. Stayed left to the tracks because he didn't want to disturb him. Now that means all this other tracks that you see on the ground, it was gone. That's how you knew it was Daniel. That he claiming, right? So keep on going. Oh, let me back up real quick. By the way, right here is let me back up a little bit if I can. Where that little, I don't know if you can see that little, let's see if I can zoom in. Yeah, little pallet or center there. This is where the other sock was found, near the well site over here. So that's where the other sock was found of Daniel's. That was matching the sock in the evidence that they had that Buckeye collected, right? Anyway, like I said, to continue on this trip, he claimed he stayed left to the tracks because it's the only tracks that survived. Now, all these tracks still survive now. You know, I didn't make all these tracks with this one truck, and we didn't come through here today. And I can tell you that. None of the volunteers came through here. I haven't come through here today because we was working on a different side of the desert. But this is the T-junction. Two things can happen. My son can get confused at this point and say, did I turn right when I came here? Or did I just kept going straight or left or what? He couldn't go left because there's nothing there to go left, right? So in his mind, he had to wonder if he had to go, when he came down here from this direction, did he come down here and did he turn left or right at this point? Because he couldn't. He know he didn't come from this direction because he didn't make a left turn, you know? He knew he would have known he made a right turn to get in here. But anyway, let's say he got confused and say, hey, he knew he had to make a right turn to get in here. So let's say he make a right turn out of here because he got confused or something. That means that he had to get confused and say, well, I don't remember this, but maybe I did go down this hard dip that I had to slow down because this dip been here forever. This dip will tear your vehicle up. You have to bounce all over the place. So he had to purposely go down here. Now this is wider, so it's a lot plausible for him to stay left to tracks. But there's many tracks down here. Like I said, okay, let me go back to this again. Get out this vehicle. He's staying left of the tracks. Again, we had rain. We had rain since Daniel been missing. Since the last time I had my searches out in this area. There are tracks here from who knows how long. I don't know if we can really see it with the camera angle, but it's a lot of tracks out here. There's tracks that just have not washed away, so it's impossible to even kind of hardly even see these tracks, first of all, but to be able to follow them is another thing. So we're gonna keep going. He said he followed for a mile down and he got to T-junction. He drove another mile, right? Follow these tracks. Stay to the left of it. There's some more people out here in this desert. I've seen them on their little razors and things, so kind of watching out who's who and who's out here and things like that. So anyway, he said he drove for like a mile or so. So I get it. Get down, try to get a mile in. Then he said he came to the gate. He said he went through this gate, he unlocked this gate, he went through it. This is the gate that I can think he's talking about. Because we always come through this gate when we go we had to get to Daniel's, where Daniel's vehicle was found. We had to go through this gate, right? So, he said he got out his vehicle, I'm sure. He had to get out his vehicle to do so. I had to make sure this gate shut back when I get done. The rancher don't like his gate open. All right, now. Okay, continue on. Went through the gate. Well, I probably have to shut this gate behind me because the cattle is running around. So bear with me, people. Try to make this quick as possible. Okay. Now, all right, continue on our journey. All right, now, he said he drove and get through the gate. He drove some mile, another mile or so down the road. I think he said a mile or two. Remember, he's still staying left of these tracks. Even though all these tracks are here on the ground, I don't know if y'all can see them. I can clearly see them. I don't know if the camera's picking them up, but I can tell you there's so many tracks there. It would be kind of hard to determine which track is which. But somehow, all these tracks has been washed away, and Daniel Tracks is the only one that survived, right? So, I don't know if the camera picking these tracks up, but I can tell you there are multiple tracks. I'm going to get out real quick to prove that point before I go disturbing these tracks. But these are tracks right here on the ground. Again, you see tracks all over the place. These tracks are because people travel through here all the time. These tracks do not get washed away from the rain. Again. Okay. Anyway, he's traveled, and this is the power station I was telling you guys about. I don't know if I can see it back there, but anyway, power station there, which I know is an infrastructure, and I always felt like I didn't understand why, with the infrastructure that size, they do not have cameras or something that need to be protected at all times. But anyway, he drove a mile or so, and all that I can think of when he drove this far, he said he got out and got up on the hill. Now you don't come into any hills yet. I come through here. I come through here all the time. We know how I know this thing like the back of my hands. So there's no hill. Only place I could think of, he got out of his vehicle and climbed on top of the hill to see a vantage point where Daniel was. See if you can see Daniel from a distance. Would have been the hill where Daniel's vehicle was found. And those right there, straight ahead above me. But those hills, for him to climb that hill. Yeah, I would see why he would climb up that far, because those are really tall hills, right? So he had to come out here to what we call this is a water retention area, which, but we call it the quarry area. This is where we have our meet up sometimes. We have volunteers come down here. Volunteers come through this gate all the time and come down here because it's closer to the point where, like I say, the vehicle found. So we had to come through here. So I'm going pretty much the same direction that we'll have this safety briefing. But anyway, he said he did a mile, so I don't know how much a mile. I probably already passed a mile or so. But unless he was talking about getting up on these hills here, all around here is the hill, right? Oh, this hill on this side here, I'm not sure. But only thing I can assume is to get to this mile is to get about this far, about where I'm at now. Because he said he got out of his vehicle and he walked up on the hill to see if he could see Daniel from afar. So I don't know. There's a lot of hills over there too. I don't know if he because you can't get over there with his vehicle. So I don't know if he walked through all that brush to get over there on the hills. But on a plausible place I can think of is because of the way this areas where you can actually drive. We drive up those. If you got a 4x4 vehicle, you can actually drive up this hill. Because this hill right here leads you right to Daniel's vehicle. You can't do it with his truck, and I ain't gonna try it because I tried before and got come right back down the hill. So this is a two-wheel drive. But I Okay, everybody. I just wanted to pause that for a quick second. Just a quick second. I just wanted to point something out. Um, maybe I should do it this way. But I just wanted to point something out. If you guys can look here, that hill that I was pointing at right there, it does take you to, and you can see the trail going up that hill. That wasn't always there, of course. That came overturned. We used the all-terrain vehicles and things traveling up that hill to get to that crash site. This is the same area I was telling you guys on this morning's Q&A, where Chief Hall only came to one of my searches ever. He came to that search right after the vehicle was recovered from over that hill that you guys see right there, just now, and just that hill there. He came out there for the first time that morning. I told you guys he had that Buckeye Police Department had the courtesy to show my family and myself, my daughter and myself, this site. We was only 2 here in Arizona to show us that site before the public, first of all. But he showed up that morning just to get out the vehicles. And, hey, everybody, we had people down right there while I was traveling in. You guys see me traveling to that area that's flat. So we had people, volunteers, to come down that way. That was the plan that we planned out on that Wednesday. My then search coordinator got wind. I don't know how, but he said, hey, I know pretty much where your son's vehicle was found. So we found a little area on the map that was open like that to get people closer to that area that he was speaking of. And I can tell you, like I said, it was unreal. He got the vehicle grandstanding. We walked up that hill. He had the volunteers, I said, walked over that hill to get to this crash site. And reason why I point that out, I want to say that real quick. If you listen to the story that Ken gave as well, it's a travel. You know, everybody knows it's almost 3 miles away to get to this hill here. Almost 3 miles away is what was told us. A little over 3 miles or a little under 3 miles, but that's how long it takes to get here driving, miles away, and to get to that crash site. And so how far it is from that well site. And so if you listen to the story that Ken had given me, also with the Buckeye Police Department, hey, he just followed the tracks. He went to the details with myself. And I've been saying this story for a long time. I gave it to the Buckeye Police Department. So it's never changed. The story didn't change from my end. He also told us, of course, he painted some rocks with red paint to show the officers where to look or where to come to follow those tracks. I haven't to this day found any red painted rocks out there, but no volunteers ever came to me, Mr. Robinson. We found some rocks with red paint on it. But that's what he said. But I said, if you follow that story, this is where I ended up. Like I said, I was talking about how that area have a lot of hills that he said he went up on some hill to look. I'm now thinking, what if it's this hill, to try to see if he see it from far. He went up this hill for whatever reason. But there's different hills out there in that area. I can't say that, but the hills in that area is hard to get by. I mean, he had to take his truck and drive over brush just to get to those hills, when it was easier to get to this location because it's already carved out because of the construction folks that came in some long time ago, I guess, and made these trails and stuff like that. Now that trail, like I said, going up that hill right there, wasn't there, according to the rancher. That started becoming there when the Buckeye Police Department made it there through there with their vehicle, as well as volunteers. When we found this area, we started traveling a lot. And so it wasn't that way at first. So we kind of made that trail going up that thing a lot. And of course, we started killing the vegetation as well as the trail, creating a trail up that way. So that's how you get there. I just wanted to stop it real quick, but I'm letting myself keep going here on this video. Can't go up the hill, but I would walk up there and show you the crash site again. But the crash site is right over that hill. I'm trying to turn the vehicle around because I don't like the position I'm in case I need to get out of here in a hurry. But you have to go up this hill up here to get to Dane's vehicle. So I could see him get up on this hill and looking out in this area to try to see if he can see Dane's vehicle. But then he said he painted some rocks with red paint. But I can't tell you again. Let me get out this vehicle. Okay, I want to answer somebody's question I saw in the chats. Was asking, did I know what type of vehicle Ken was driving? Only thing I know, that day when I met him, he was driving a utility truck, a white utility truck. I would think it was a Dodge Ram or something, but a utility truck. But it's definitely not a truck that will be able to take a lot of terrain. It's good for those trails and things like that, but not terrain. I just want to throw that out as well. Thank you for that question as well. That was from J.C. Adams. Vehicle was found right above that hill up here, right on the other side of this hill. I would go out there as a little farther than that. That hill, once you go over the hill, but like I'm saying, for my safety today, I don't have a spotter or anybody with me, and things. I just don't do desert out here by myself. So I walked out there before and I did a live out there by myself, but today I just don't have that energy and that thrill to go out there and go out into that site by myself today. So just wanted to show y'all that. That's his drive-through, pretty much. Unless, like I said, he went over there to this area. I'm gonna turn down this road because there's another way I can get out. Unless he came from over here somewhere. And like I said, if he got out his vehicle and he wanted to walk way up down the hill over there, I can't see how he did that. He had to go through. Well, we did line searches over there, but I'm saying you literally had to go through all that brush. If you can see all that greenery, that's a lot of brush you have to walk through. And that guy, I don't know. He might be more energetic than me, but that do some little trail right there. He must, unless he went over there the trail and then walk way up there to that vantage point. But look, I don't see what he meant by that. You know what I'm saying? Cut it from there, everybody. I'm just cutting it from this point. Because some of the things there now is just pretty much what I did from that point and just drove back to Sun Valley Parkway. I just kind of measured those measurements, I said, from the mileage standpoint. And what I was pointing out in this whole video is to try to say the 2 mile mark is not there at that first well site. You go 1 mile north, hit that T junction to go north. 2 miles would take you to the second well site, not the first. And and I say that for a reason. A couple reasons is because this first video I'm gonna show you again, you guys. And this hope this Q&A is not too long for you guys, but I just want to show you this pretty much for those who can hang in here with us. The first well site. This is a well site they did say Daniel was. Well, the company told me later. The weird part about this is my very first search. Daniel Boss, I called him. Hey, look, he said he want to come out to the search. We met at this Love truck stop. That's where the search was. We began our first search. I have never been out there to that desert. He said him and the other workers said they've been out there to try to locate Daniel. Right? They went to that well site. They've been to the well site, but it's funny because when we left that well site, that's what I'm hearing hindsight later. But what I'm hearing, what I remember is from that gas station we followed, because I have never been in that desert. I was really anxious. I was really, I had mixed feelings. Really excited I finally don't have to stand at that gate anymore with my binoculars and wonder where this well site is located, and to see this for myself. I was really needing to see this well site. I need to put myself in my son's shoes. I need to be in his space, in his head, and so traveling there, I had to follow Daniel's boss. He was driving his red pickup truck. He had one other person with him, and we followed, myself and the person I was riding with. Followed into that desert. We did go that 1 mile north, as you guys, that 1 mile west, as you guys have seen there, and then we hit that. When we got to that T junction, he got confused. We actually passed it. He was sitting there for a while, and he was getting on his phone or something, and he was trying to figure out where to go. To make a long story, he was lost. We was lost. This is the worker now. This is Dan's boss. So we finally made that right turn into that T junction. We actually went to the wrong place. That let me know he had never been there before. He was trying to find out where it's at. We went into this other little spot where this big brown tank was sitting there. All right. He told me that was the well site. Some reason he didn't take me. He just cut it short. Cut it real short. Probably even a mile out.
There's another little turn. One day I can show you guys what it is. It's a big old, giant, old tank that these construction workers left out there. It's really brown and really rusted, but it has a corral around it. This is a small corral. On things out there is cattle droppings and things like that. That Wagner Wash is really close to it. And at the time when we did that, the water was flowing a little bit. So he did take us to that spot. I looked around there, and at the time, that's what I was thinking. That was the well site. But I needed to go in there, and I was looking around and try to figure out what they seen, what my son had to see. If he was looking around that area, the area is really brushed because the Wagner Wash is there. Is water that do flow through there sometimes during the monsoon season. So the brush is a little higher in that area than it is in the area where the vehicles are covered right here in this area here. And so, like I said, it wouldn't take me to that well site because he didn't know where it's at. But I ended up finding the well site nevertheless, and was able to get on the ground then. And like I said, I didn't see where my son was staring off into the desert because of that brush that was there. There was nothing to look at. I mean, he could look over the brush and see the tops of the White Tank Mountains. But what he was staring at, what would he be staring at? So long story short, I just put my son got in his headspace and try to figure out what he probably been thinking, because, that's the only narrative I had to go by with this. I'm not calling this guy a liar. He just telling what his story was and blah, blah, blah. That's what I've been hearing. Like I said, you guys. But anyway, I'm going to give you a video of this first well site. I'm going to describe it a little bit. What I did is had a company come in to go down in that well. Unlike Buckeye Police Department, actually did the job correctly. They put a camera in the water, had submersible cameras. It wasn't no, I'm going to come out here. That's what I tell you guys. They go out and put the stuff on this report just to say, right now they can say, yeah, we did a search of the well, right? They didn't do a proper search. They ain't got no concern about finding out Daniel in that well or not. They got concern of putting something on paper. So for you guys' consumptions and for your guys' entertainment or whatever you want to call it, some people are so blue, they would not be able to ask police a question. They're so blue, they won't question the police at all. But I'm not. So I'm different. Especially when it comes to my son, I'm going to question their actions, right? So the thing is, they did not have a submersible camera to piss me off. I would let them do what they do, let them think it's okay, and then, like I said, I had a company myself to come in and do this thing properly. They didn't do that. They brought some little dog. I think I showed y'all the video. It's a video. I'm about to put that up too. My team, I laugh about it. They were talking about the little white dog. They call it a cadaver dog or whatever the case may be. But nevertheless, here we go. I'm going to play this. This is the first well site. This is the one that I was told later where Daniel went missing, but it don't match the mileage. I'm telling you the reason why I'm showing you this real quick. And I'm going to speed the camera because for lack of time, I want to get to some of these questions, but I want to speed the camera up a little bit. So right now we're only at 2 feet. 2 feet. And so you look at the feet, there's 2 point, it's 3 feet now and it's kind of moving. What he did is he's taking the camera down into this well. The well looked really clean. That's exactly what the well's supposed to look like. Very clean on the side. It get down to the water level. The water should be fairly, of course, you're going to have sediments, and that's the stuff that they're going to have to test. All that stuff you're going to see eventually floating around in that water. Of course, you're going to see the bacteria thing that grows on the side of the walls. That is the nature of wells, right? So, of course, I'm sure they clean it up before people start drinking that stuff, but that's the kind of stuff they have to test to make sure it's drinkable water, right? And so this well is clean. From when I talked to the well expert that came out to take that camera down, this is what a well is supposed to look like. Clean, clear, go straight to the bottom. There should be no obstructions, no nothing, right? That's exactly how they drill it down in the earth, right? So we're going to go down the earth. I'm telling you guys, I wish that sometimes the feedback on your end is a lot clearer, just like I have on my end, because I look at the other camera there from the YouTube side. It don't look as clear as what I have on my screen here, my other screen. So I kind of want y'all to get an idea, and I'm going to have to talk about it so you guys can get an idea of what I'm speaking about. And that way you can understand. But anyway, you see what's on the side of the wall right now.
At the same time, the deal was to get this camera down in that wells. We don't own those wells, of course. Those are privately owned wells. The owners of those wells, we had an agreement with it. It took a while to get this company to be able to come in and do this. It's because the owners didn't want me in the wells, didn't want me mess with their wells anymore. But the deal was they wanted us to have insurance, so I had to go through the insurance thing to make a long story short. And as well as the deal is to get them a free well inspection. So this is a well inspection, but at the same time, it served the purpose for me to be able to check those wells and make sure nobody, no nefarious, no crimes committed, and somebody threw my son down in this well, right? Or the next well I'm going to show you. So this well is already at 102, 108 feet down. This camera's going down and still haven't hit the water level yet. So think how far you're going down in this well before you even make it to the water level. We haven't hit water yet, you guys. Still going down there. And once we hit the water level, I will try to speed it up just a tad for time's sake. I will let both of these videos play, but I'm looking at them already at the hour and 21-minute mark, and I don't want to run out of time on this Q&A. And I don't want to keep you here all night, but I definitely want you guys to understand the reasons of my concern. And this, I'm showing this well site first, but the second well site is my major concern. And I'm telling you the things we found in that well site, they're going to make you pause. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. Once we get to the next video. But here it is, water level right now, right here at 154 feet. He just now coming down 155, and he just touched it 155 feet before he actually touched that water with his camera. And that's just the tip of the camera. That's a little lighting that hangs out on the bottom. But he just touched the water at 155 feet down. Now he's taking his notes, and then he's going to take this camera down in that water. He kind of adjusting the camera, make sure it goes straight down. And from that point, we will be submerging in the water. And then we're going to go down, I think, another 100 or so feet in the water. So here we go. Going in the water here now. Going 100. We had 162 feet down in the water. I mean, down in that well. But like I said, 155 feet is just hitting the water level. Just hitting the water level. So he's taking the time to take the camera down there because you never know it's there, but he told me this is normal. What we see now is normal. And you can see once he's turned the camera sideways, you can see what the walls look like as well. It looks messy. You see things floating around. There's a wall there. You see things look messy. You see the sediments falling and things like that. That's the stuff that need to be tested. That's all the stuff that settles at the bottom of the well. That's the bacteria, different things that grows on the side of the wall. His job is to see if, because you got metal, believe it or not, there's metal eating bacteria. They eat metal. And so he can tell the health of the well itself. So that's the job as well. To have these wells inspected and things like that for corrosion and stuff like that. So he's going to keep going down 168 feet deep down into this well, and that's under the water level we're at now. I will speed it up a little bit because it's going to take a lengthy time. We're down at 248 feet. You can see the little things growing on the side again. So like I said, he's also doing inspection of this well. So we're going to keep going down. We're at 248. But what I'm trying to do is get this camera down. And I want to say this part. I mean, I'll just skip it just quickly to 304 feet. And you see those little grooves there. That's the water that actually flowing the rivers. When they tap that part of the pipe, had actually tapped the underground streams. And that's how the water actually come into that pipe. Is through the open grooves like that. It's like a filtration system, but the water seeps through there and fill that well up. So that's where all that part, you guys, that he's circling around right now. It's like you probably look at it really clearly. It's these grooves there. That's where the water flows in from the underground springs and stuff, those groundwater. So it comes through that area of the pipe. But I'm gonna skip on down because I want to show you the bottom of this well. He's still going down. You still can see at 417 feet down in this well. You still see those grooves. We're still letting water in from the groundwater, from the ground itself, the earth. And so he's, like I say, 425, 427, 428. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because I'm going too far because I know he got to pull it back out. 437, 437 feet down in this well. 438. He's still going down, still moving. If I can remember correctly, it's closer to 500, 600 feet down in this well before he hit rock bottom. So here we go. Let me see if I can skip ahead just a little tad more. So there you go. 458 feet, so it's right at 500 feet, closer to 500 feet, 458 feet before he hit the rock bottom of this well. And you can see, and he's tapping the bottom because he wants to show you, hey, look, all the stuff is settling down the bottom, but there's nothing to see. And the job is asking for him, and he can tell when you tap that and see if it's actually solid or he can go deeper. Because sometimes stuff is floating on that water like that, and you'll think that it's dirt, and that's the end of it, and it can go even deeper, he's telling me. So he tapped the camera a little bit to see, but it's solid, and that's why he's going to end up pulling it up, because that's it. It don't go no farther down, and we don't see anything that looks suspicious other than normal dirt, everything that's settled at the bottom, right? I think there's a big rock there, probably one of the rocks that somebody threw down in there, but it's nothing to marvel about, you know. So that put some relief in my mind, because one of the things that well site they first took me to and say, hey, this is well site your son was missing, and of course my investigator look at it and say, look at my son's shoulder lift, based it on mine as well, and say it was very hard to try to push somebody down in that well because the circumference of that entrance of that well right there. See, he's still trying to see if he can go farther down in that dirt, but it don't go anywhere. So he's going to be pulling the camera back. But, his circumference of his shoulder would not fit really easy to get into that first narrow hole of the well on the ground level. Because that orange tank that I showed you guys on that video I just said when I did that run through, they had actually moved. Buckeye Police Department didn't wait till these guys moved that tank out the way so we can go down as well, but we did. Like I said, after they left, Buckeye finished what they did. They didn't even check this well. Buckeye have never checked this well. They checked that second well with that camera that didn't submerge in the water, but I did. So I just want to tell you guys that's the first video. But I'm going to the second well site. This is one, and I want to tell you guys it's north. This is the north well site that I was telling you about. That is, if you take that 2 mile mark that Ken said you had to go once you go 1 mile west and then 2 miles north, it takes you to this well site. It looks very clean at the beginning, don't it? Very clean well site, just like the other one. But I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because we're going to get to a point where it's going to get treacherous. And I want, for lack of time, I just want to get closer. Okay, I think I came too fast. But I want to say right here, 87 feet, 89, 90, and he's just going down pretty fast to get down to the water level. When we hit the water level, I can tell you can see it coming before you get there. But he's going down 100 feet already to get to this water. This is the second well site I'm telling you guys. This is one I really suspect that Daniel was really, that's the real well site versus the one they causing me to try to believe is the well site that Daniel was missing. And I'm telling you the reasons why. And I could have showed you some pictures. I do have a video I will show you next time when I do this again of the area around that well site, the fencing, the tears in the fence and things like that. It was very highly suspicious as well. And I'm telling you guys, and I'll show you because I have pictures of those as well. But as you come down, it's 138 feet down in this well. 142 feet down in this well. Almost 150 feet down in this well. There we go. And we still haven't hit water. Still haven't hit water yet. We're getting close. I think it's around 160, if I can remember correct. Yeah, here we go, coming now. You guys look at, you can see the water coming up. 165, 166 feet before we hit the water. Now, the problem is he paused right there because he sees something that is very unusual. If you look and see all this trash and then you see another pipe sitting there, that pipe don't supposed to be there. Somebody put that pipe in there. He was telling me, hey, look, I see this pipe here. This pipe don't supposed to be there. It's supposed to went straight down just like the other. But you see all this trash and stuff that's hanging on the outside of that pipe, around the size of that pipe. There shouldn't be a pipe in the center of this well like that, right? And you kind of wonder, you think this pipe might go all the way down to the bottom well, but it don't. And we're going to see once he get past this pipe, you'll understand the reason why he's very concerned about this and why I'm concerned about it. And all the debris, all the stuff that was thrown in this well, why is it there, right? But okay. Right now, he's trying to navigate around the pipe, so I'm going to skip ahead a little bit, just give you a little because he had to keep pulling the camera out and try to get back. So you see he's pulling the camera out to try to readjust the camera. So we're going to get back down to the 100 and what it was, 150. There we go, 160 some feet down. But anyway, he's still trying to navigate the camera. I was up the top up there while he was trying to push it down. I was actually helping him adjust the camera. He's trying to go down through the sides of this obstruction, this pipe. He said, hey, this pipe is sitting there. His mind thinking this must be a very long pipe that make it all the way down to the bottom somehow. But why is it there? Right. So he's trying to work the cameras around that pipe. And that's where he's at now, at 169 feet, 169.61 feet, a little over almost 770 feet. But he's going to go down in that side, tried to go down, but then he had to end it, realize that he had to go through the pipe just to get all the way to the rest of the pipe. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit again. What he's doing here, again, he couldn't make it down on the side of the pipe there. So now he's going to go through the pipe, through the center of the pipe, just to try to get around. He's going to go trying again through the sides. I apologize. Go down to the sides again to try to get past this pipe, right? But when you go through this pipe, you're going to realize what's holding that pipe up. We thought the pipe was going to go straight down, but it didn't. So I wanted to really start at the bottom and work my way up. So, but it don't work that way. If I can reverse this video, you guys can understand that then. But mind you, I'm keeping in mind, none of the stuff's supposed to be in this water. None of this. It's supposed to be just like that first well site that I showed you guys, straight down to the bottom, clean. But you see all this trash and stuff. Somebody's throwing stuff down in there for reasons, and I'm gonna explain some of the reasons what I think. All right, like this pipe itself. That's the first thing we see. He can't get around it, so I'm going to speed up just a little bit and show you he went through. This is right here, him going through the center of that pipe just to get around to the other side of the pipe. He made sure he got to the point now where, oh no, I apologize. He's going back down again because he pulled it back out, and we was going back down again so he can orient it to go through the pipe, to go through the center of the pipe. I had to sit there and hold the wire to try to push it, to try to time it and get it to go straight into the center of this pipe. So we're going to go ahead and skip ahead again to try to get to 160 feet. There you go, 175 feet, and still trying to orient his way to go around this obstruction to get in this pipe. So let me, he had a couple hard times, so I'm going to try to find this out so he can, there we go, trying to get into that center of that pipe. There we go. So now we're going to go down through the pipe. That's the only way to get around, to get down to the bottom of this well site. And when you get to the end, you can see what was holding this pipe up. Let me skip it ahead a little bit. 172 feet. We're at 200 and, I hope I ain't went too far. Let's see where we're at. 88 feet. I don't want to show you. I don't want to go too far, you guys. So let me go back a little bit. I think I better stay. Let's see here. Okay, well, I'm going to stay. I'm going to go till we see the obstruction, then I can go down to the bottom. But I wanted to share this stuff with you guys on this Q&A because I want to let y'all know some theories that I have and through my own investigation that Buckeye Police Department should have been doing. This is the structure. You see right here on the bottom of this pipe. That's where the pipe ends at. See how the sides come out? That's a structure. That's a wood structure there that was actually holding that pipe up. A wood structure that be going straight across that would be holding that pipe up. That's where that wood come from. The little piece of that wood that was part of that wood that was thrown in there first. So obviously, think about it. The pipe is on top. The bit hard, long pipe that don't belong there, first of all. So obviously, before they threw that pipe in there, they threw something else in there. And that was a wood structure, I guess, to hold something down, to push something down. That got enlarged and got twisted sideways into that well. And then when they threw the pipe in there, that wood structure stopped the pipe from going straight down to the bottom. Right? The other part is we're going at 199, 200 feet down in this well. And let's see here. We're going to come up to some other things. I want to see if I can get there. I'm trying to not go too far. I'm praying not to go too far because I want you guys to see some of the stuff. Let's see here. I haven't watched this video in a while. I haven't gone through it in a while. I just don't want you guys to miss that because if I do, then I probably missed the wood structure I want to show you. I probably did already, but that was a wood structure there that was actually holding that pipe up. That's beside the point. We even got past this point. You can see the little wood fragments right there floating around as well. That's coming from that wood structure that he just went through, and it's still settling down to the bottom. It's almost the wood. I'll tell you what it looked like. It looked like I don't know if you guys anybody familiar with a train trestle and had those really big, thick woods that the train tracks run on. It's pretty much like that. Very thick is that type of wood. I guess the material can take water log, being a water log for a long time without turning to pulp or whatever the case may be. But it's in there. That was holding that pipe, kept that pipe from going straight down, right? Okay, let's see here. I'm going to go down 300, that's 351 feet, 384 feet, 400 feet. I'm skipping ahead, you guys, because I want to get to this part. I want to show you what's down at the bottom as well. Okay, this is the area I told you, like the other well site that has where the water actually come through those springs and those underground underground water that's running through the earth. That's where they tapped into that underground stream. That's how the water get in these pipes in this well. Let's see if I can get all the way down. This well is a lot deeper than the other. I can tell you guys it goes down to 1,000 feet, so it's really deep. So I'm just taking my time to try to help you guys see where we're at. I'm sorry y'all missed that wood structure. I wanted to show y'all that, but I definitely something else is important too. I want to show you guys. Let's see here. So I want to get to your questions. We're at 700 feet. I might end up backing it up at 700 feet, 730 feet down as well, 750 feet down as well, 765. And this is the thing. I'm gonna stop real quick. This is the thing that was hurtful to watch the Buckeye Police Department try to sham me with this camera with that don't even touch the water. I never had the idea that this wells go that deep down in the earth, right? So they wanted me to look at the surface of the water and say your son is not there. Right. I'm hoping not. I hope he's not in the well. But I'm saying if he was there, if anybody was there, we need to go cameras that doing what this guy's doing, this company doing, and go in the water. That it was easy for the Buckeye Police Department to, with the budget they have, millions of dollars, to hire this company or any company to look down in these wells. You get what I'm saying? Why do I have to go do things myself? Why do a family have to go do these things themselves? Do a real investigation that they should have been doing. And the reason why they won't spend money on it, because they won't classify my son's case as a possible criminal case. And it is designed that way because, by law, they don't have to do anything when he's just a missing adult. They don't have to do anything. And they're showing that they don't have to do anything. The Buckeye, the mayor of Buckeye, showing they don't have to do anything. The city manager showing they have to, like they only show that they want to say, hello, Mr. Robinson. My condolences to what happened. Thank you so much for finding these families out here, the remains of some of these loved ones that belong to some of these families out here. I don't even get that part of it. So again, had to do these things myself, right? 876 feet, 900 some feet. We're still into the bottom, but I'm trying to get to this bottom because I want to show y'all something was all the way down in this well. Okay, here we go. This is where I want to go at. 938 feet. Now we're getting close to the bottom of this well. And what I want to show you, and I'm going to pause a couple of times because I want to explain some things to you guys. Right here. Let me stop right here. Right here on the bottom of your screen is a pole. It's sitting sideways. It's lined up against the wall of the well, and I can tell you that pole come from. And you guys, when you start going down the side of it, you can understand where it comes from. That's why I say I want to show you the outside of this well as well. It's very suspicious. Part of the gate was torn off, the pipe, the pole, and I was wondering where that pole went at. But now I know it's on the bottom, in the bottom as well. And those poles have cement stuck on the bottom to keep them down in the earth. It could be easily used for something to tie something down weight-wise and take it straight down to the bottom of the well, right? Sometimes they say people use center blocks and throw somebody in the lake and drag them down to the bottom. That's one of, and this, mind you, this well is a lot larger than the first one. The circumference of it, you can drop a person down straight into this well. It's a lot wider, right? So anybody can be put down in this well. So that concerned me. When I saw this pole, the gentleman that was doing the search with me, look at this pole, and he's like, "Uh-oh, what is this? What all that stuff?" He was really, really shocked about seeing all the other stuff that was in this well. Just getting down to 900 before he got to 900 feet. That was way back in when it was only a few hundred feet. Now we're near 1,000 feet in this well, and we find the other stuff down in there, right? Okay, here we go. And when you come down this well, and I'm telling you what I noticed the most. You can see stuff floating around. That's a little bit of, like I said, the bacteria. There's always going to be things floating in that water, especially when you barely rub the sides of that wall with all that bacteria and rust or whatever comes from the pipes. It gets scraped off as he's passing by, right? Little particles is floating around. So you can see it right there. Some of those particles is on the side of the wall. That's the stuff that kind of rolls off a little bit, right? That's the bacteria. But if you look at this pole, you see some of that stuff is on this pole. But I'm going to show you something as you come down this pole, and you guys can see what I'm talking about, where I'm coming from, and why all the stuff is on the side of the wall. You didn't see that on the other well where it had that much stuff riding on the side of the wall. But if you look at this pole, let me see, he's coming down, and you can probably more identify as a fence pole right here. I'm going to stop right here. If you look at the top of that pole, I don't know if you guys know this area right here on your top right corner. That's the area where the other side of the pole, I wish I can draw an illustration, but where the other pipe fits in the sideways of the pole for the chain part to hook up to, right? It's the little part that the other pole will hook into. That's where you see the little round kind of block shape, but kind of oval block shape thing there. If you look at it really well, and I don't know if the camera's showing up really good on the other camera over the side where you guys can see, that's a pile of dirt sitting on top of it. Pile of dirt. So what I'm going to show you is if you look at that stuff, you can see where not only did this stuff was down there to drag something down, but they put a tremendous amount of dirt down in this bottom as well as put a tremendous amount of dirt. So when they put that pole down there, or whatever they drag down there, or whatever, this is my theory. Whatever they drag down there to tie it down, it made it to the bottom. But to make sure that it's buried, they put a tremendous amount of dirt down there. That's why it built up on the side of that pole. I'm gonna say on the top half of that pole, not on the bottom half, because that's dirt sitting on top of that pole, and it built up like a mound. So now he's going down in here and he's disturbing this stuff, but it's a mound sitting there on top. A mound of dirt. That let me know something came from the top of that well, made it all the way down, and built a mound. They put a tremendous amount of dirt down in that well, right? It's common sense. So I think he's going to put the camera oriented a little different so you guys can see it a lot better. But yes, you can see the dirt mound. If I'm not mistaken, I remember you turning the camera on, the lights on, so you can see a little better. There you go. You can see all of this. And right about, you make it to that little part I was talking about. You're coming down the pole right there. That's a mound of dirt. The amount of dirt that came from up above. If you take the dirt that's outside of that well in that area and you match it up to this dirt that you see right here, same as that dirt. So whatever it is right here, whatever came from the top up there and made its way down through this well, that's how I see it, right? And it collected there. Of course, it's supposed to be set all the way down to the bottom of the well, hit the rock bottom, the cover. But, of course, if you put something there, it's almost like a ledge. If it's raining, it's going to stop there. It's going to collect. And that's exactly what happened, right? So you go farther down this pole, and you can see where it ends up into the dirt. But whatever this pole is at, whatever's down in the dirt, is covered up. Let's see if I can get it going a little farther, faster. I'm trying to get to you guys' questions. I'm right at an hour and 44 minutes. I just want to make sure I get your questions in as well. And thank you guys for coming in. Those who are new to the station, this channel, I'm tired, you guys. Those who are new to the channel, please by all means hit that like, share, and subscribe button before you leave. That will help the algorithms as I'm trying to get Daniel's story out farther, trying to reach more people. That really helped tremendously. So here we go. We got we're down a lot farther. We're still going down, you guys. I'm telling you, this thing is deep. Going down in this well. Let me see if I can get down a little farther so I can get to this point where I'm trying to get you guys at. Okay, yeah, here we go. You're coming down to the bottom here, and there's another structure. Another thing he was pointing out, he don't know this big old block of metal that's down in there. That shouldn't be there. That's why he tried to orient the camera to try to see what it is. But he don't really identify. He worked wells all the time, trying to figure out what all the stuff is and why it's in the well. All right, and let me see here. And one thing when he was oriented, this is the bottom, you guys, by the way, it's 969 feet, and I don't know if it's exactly the bottom. That's what me and him was trying to puzzle. He couldn't get that camera to go even deeper, but because he was trying to push down in the dirt so you can go deeper like he did the other. But some of the structure that's in there would make it seem that maybe it is deeper. But all the stuff is thrown down in this well. In the bottom. You remember the other well I showed you guys is really clear, straight to the bottom. And that's exactly what all wells supposed to be. But if you stop here, this is why he is oriented this way. You stop here, it's a little oval shape that we're concerned about. We're trying to see if that was part of the that bit large structure there that's kind of coming down like a pole down in that dirt. That let us know it goes deeper. Or is it top of a human skull? So we tried to look at that. I was going to have an expert look at it. I couldn't find the right person yet to this date. Of course, law enforcement ain't not asking about it. They're having a concern about it. But that's the way I'm looking at it from the angle. It's hard to tell what this white oval-shaped structure is. That's just the angle of the camera where it must be the white part of the pipe that's going farther down. That's what we're trying to look at, or that's indeed the top of a skull or something. But we know that there's a large amount of dirt there, but the camera would not be able to penetrate all that dirt. So he couldn't get it no farther down, but this well goes a lot deeper than that. So this is things that law enforcement should have been looking at. And you see it right here. It was right here on the right side, right down the side of the screen there. I'll show you in a minute. He's gonna reorient it, and then you can be able to look at some stuff a lot better. Trying to make sure I don't miss. He's trying to orient the camera so he can take a better look at it. And let's see here. He's gonna put his star bright on. I think of one of the lights he used differently. There we go, starlight. What we're trying to do is get a better look at what this big, whatever this is inside the well that shouldn't be there. Okay, we had a 971 feet, you guys, in this well, very deep well. Oh, I want to tell, let's see, Viloma, if I say your name correct, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for that super chat. I really appreciate that. I really want to get your name correct. It's Vilomah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming to this Q&A, and thank you for support. I tell you, thank you for your prayers, and thank you for those positive energies. That really helped me out as well. Keep me going. It's hard, like I told you guys, it's really hard at times to keep fighting. But this is my son. I won't give up on him. But yeah, I wanted you guys to see what's at the bottom of this well. There's a lot of things there he's really puzzled about. He's really trying his best to get a better look at this oval shape, almost like the crest of a person's skull. We've seen some human remains out there. You know what? In my searches, we found a human skull as already. So we do have I do, unfortunately, have some familiarity to seeing things like that as well. And we can't really determine if that, just like I said, the white part of the pole going deep down in that dirt, or that's indeed the top of a human skull. So I wanted an expert to look at that, determine that. But I can tell you the suspicious nature of this whole entire thing is the amount of dirt that was poured down in there, and that collected on that pole. So the dirt was sitting down there for a reason. It got to be for a reason, and it can't be just because somebody, hey, I just want to dump a large amount of dirt. But I can tell you, because he tried to take that camera down there, he knows there, because he can definitely try to get through that dirt and get deeper in that dirt. He showed me amazing stuff that the camera can do. But like I said, because of the amount of dirt, he came to a certain limit, and then that was it. Had to try to pull out. He tried his best to try to. That's why you see him taking his time. He's trying to get close to finding out if that's just a human skull or that's something else. But when I look at it over and over again, sometimes I think it's the pole that's coming down. But I just wanted to make sure if that's the case. All right. So I just wanted to show you guys that, and I'm gonna have to go back out of here now. There we go. I just wanted to pause right there. Right there is what we're looking at. To try to determine if that's just the pole going down in the dirt or that it's something else. But the reason why we thought that because of the way that settlement is kind of sitting on top of it as well. It's not, if it's sideways, we're thinking that it probably would have rolled down, wouldn't even stick like that, but it's there. So that's some of the things that law enforcement should have been looking at. I shouldn't have to have gone through that. I shouldn't have to have a company to come in that do more than what Buckeye have done with the surface water with these guys with a makeshift camera that can't even be submerged underwater. I shouldn't have been able to do all of this. I want to put out this real quick as well. Since I've been out here, just imagine this. It's been over a year that Daniel's been missing. I still haven't got swelling police and FBI and stuff. I hear these cases in same nature. One, I think he was in Salt Lake, Utah, somewhere. Young man, pretty much same situation with Daniel. FBI case come in. Make you wonder why. Despite of me being out here, despite me going to the city council meetings, to coming on here on the news, whatever the case may be, and you still not getting that support like you would see in some of these cases. Buckeye had a man to go missing in I think it was Goodyear, in Phoenix, I think it was. Went missing in Phoenix. They took that case because that person is a resident of Buckeye. They went missing in Phoenix. So you would think the same thing. My son is a resident of Tempe, but we're missing in Buckeye. It's the same thing. So it makes you wonder how sometimes these cases get treated differently depending on the person. And that's what I'm starting to see a lot more. I've seen it all the time, but sometimes you try to ignore some of those things and try to look at different angles where that department's short-staffed, to you name it. Try to give people excuses. But you know what? There's no excuse. There's no excuse. My son is still missing. It's very important to me. It's very important to his mother. He got a mother. His mother's home suffering. He has siblings. His siblings are home suffering. Just like they have families. They have children. He's my son. So I just want to tell you guys, thanks so much for watching that with me. And that's my take of some things. I could give my comments about it. If you guys have questions about that, I definitely give you how I really feel about certain things and the reason why I want to show you guys these things. I'm going through the comment sessions really quick here. So if you guys have any questions, please put the question mark there, your question, the word question, or the capital letter Q as I'm coming down. I can grab your questions. I want to go put things like this, what Sophia have here, 120,000 voices. 120,701 voices. You guys have put your voice to that petition. I really appreciate that. It's very handy for me. Every time I mention the petition, whether it's law enforcement or whoever, I have your voice backing me up. You guys, if you go to the change.org or just go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com and hit that petition button, and you will take it to change.org, and you can see that petition. You can read all the updates. And if you believe in everything or you support everything I'm doing here, please, by all means, hit that, put your email there and put your voice there to that petition, because I really need your voice there. I really need you to continue to back me up. I want to mention, though, change.org do have a donation button there on the change.org. It has no affiliation with me or any efforts that I'm doing, so I can't tell you that they might not make it clear, but that is definitely straight to change.org. I'm really grateful for the things they do. They was able to give people a platform to be able to get a petition going. So if you guys want to donate to change.org, feel free to do so. But if you want to donate to my cause and what I'm doing here in Arizona, go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com, and there's a donation button there as well. So that goes directly to what I'm doing here. The change.org is for change.org. So I just wanted to make sure I put that out as well for you guys. And let's see here. All right. So if you guys have any questions, again, like I said, I will be coming down. If I missed your question tonight, I apologize for that. But hit that like, share, and subscribe button if you can. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let me see if I can get any questions going here. And let's see. Oh, thanks, Sophia, for putting that up as well. And let's see here. And thanks, Sophia, for putting this information as well. I'm just coming down, you guys, and my moderators are really doing amazing work there. So I really appreciate it. So I'm just putting some of this information you guys probably already seen in the chat, but I'm literally coming down the chat and I'm looking for these questions. So, like I said, again, if you have any questions, put the capital letter Q there, the word question there, or some question marks, something like that. So when I'm coming down really quickly here, I can actually see it. Thank you also, Tatia. Thanks so much for putting the information for the tip line. I do have a question here, and I believe that, thank you, Sophia. The question here, did any of his colleagues see him in the field, see him leave? Any issues with any company workers? Well, in the call to see him in the field. Well, Daniel usually he works solo for that company, meaning that Daniel go out, he get those assignments, he works solo. He always meeting a representative from a different company. That's how it was with Weber. He met Ken, who's worked for Weber. He don't work for Matrix New World. He don't work for Matrix Southwest Groundwater. He works for Weber. And my son always go out and to meet these other people from a different company. The gentleman that did the well worked that camera to put that he worked with my son before. He know Daniel. That company Matrix used that company all the time, and to check those wells and do those wells inspections and things like that. So they know my son. That industry, a lot of people know Daniel. Ken I was told they never met, so I didn't get that from Daniel. I got it from Ken. I got that from, I believe, the workers as well at his job. So as in the colleagues, like I said, you guys, Daniel's a field geologist, also called a hydrogeologist, but he's a field geologist, meaning he works in the field. And sometimes people say, that's why I tell you, Buckeye, and I went up there, I have meetings with them all the time. Buckeye, they love the plural stuff. Co-workers, plural, said he was acting odd and strange. What co-workers that he was talking to? None of them came to me and said they talked to Buckeye and gave those kind of answers. First of all, the other part is, how can they assess Daniel? He's not even there. Daniel rarely come up to that. When I was in the meeting with Matrix New World, their field geologists rarely come into the office. They come in to the back door a lot of times to drop these samples off and on this desk, and they're gone. The office workers don't get to see them. The people don't get to see them. They're working like I say, a solo type deal. Come in there off of 44th Street here in Phoenix. Go to Matrix New World, 44th Street, and sit there and drop that sample off in that back door, and they're gone. They probably never know Daniel showed up. So who's there to assess him? Say, oh, he's acting odd and strange. Like, come on now. Don't be just putting things in a report without actually getting those facts or not. Because one person said. Now, only person I can say that say anything that is any kind of way credible, you would take his friend from that job, Roger, who is a personal friend of Daniel's, off the job as well. So they don't be friends or hang out on the job. Off the job. I don't know what they do. They play video games, to go to a bar, have a drink. I don't know. But I just know they know each other off the job. So that's one of the things for sure. But yes, nobody have actually seen him leave as far as I know. I haven't heard anything like that. Anybody mention at all. Do have a question here from Heather. Thank you, Helga Vega, and thanks so much for joining in this Q&A. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Have you spoken to the girl he was interested in? No, I have not. I personally stay away from her. She's a young lady around my son's age. Two ways I look at that. She's a young person, could be traumatized by anything. And definitely don't want to be, when I say traumatized by anything, she got a lot of attention, I'm sure, going her way because of this whole case matter. And so she could be bothered by that. And I'd definitely not be a person that bothered. I leave that to the investigators. So I had to take certain things, but I do have some research I did on my own, but definitely stay away from this young lady. But anyway, maybe there is some bit of information she forgot to share. And that would be for my investigator as well as Buckeye Police Department, who is in charge to find and get those. What I want to know is who's the friend, who's the person that was with her. My son mentioned to me personally on a phone call, the last phone call I spoke to my son with, who is this on the young lady. My son didn't mention her name at all. I don't even know if he asked the young lady, whoever she is, her name, but I did know Caitlin. My son did tell me that part. Or that maybe she shared with the cops, but not with you. It's possible. It's possible some things she could have. But one thing is, I got to go by what law enforcement put in their report. And some of those things, like I said, the phone things that she put up there in the phone do not match Daniel's phone records. And that's why I suspect that the Buckeye Police Department, for their sakes and your consumptions, to say, yo, we found some deleted texts. Well, show us. Put it, you're showing everything. You're showing this woman's text. You're showing some hearsay testimony in a sense. Let's have it. Let's see Daniel's text message you guys say you covered. Let's see that and see how it don't match the phone records that I have of Daniel. I would like to see that so I can show you guys too. And I'm challenging them on that. And so the thing is, I suspect they won't do that because it's not going to match that phone record. All right, but they chose to put this in their report. All right, this young lady for whatever reason. Okay, I also want to say thanks so much, Allegria. I hope I say your name correct. Thanks so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you for supporting as well. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Everybody who's done the super chat, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. God bless you. It really brings a smile to my face. Make me happy to see that people are supporting what I'm trying to do here. It's helping other families as well. So thanks so much. Also, you guys don't forget that tip line as I'm going down. Thank you, Tati, for putting that up. Also, question here. Thanks so much, Martin. Marie, thanks so much for coming in. Martini, I should know that. Martina Marie. I can see the martini glass there. Do you know what the two redacted messages Daniel sent to Steve that are in the police report say? Yes, I do, and I will not be putting that in public as well. You probably can't tell us. Oh, yes, that's true. What it is, what it says, but it is relevant. Is it relevant at all to the case of mine? I really highly don't really think so, but that's said to be seen. But it can help with the timeline and things like that. So all that stuff is timeline stuff. It's a lot more. I put out the fact that Buckeye didn't put this fact out. They probably would now to hear. They watch the Q&A. So welcome, Buckeye. I really appreciate you guys for joining all my Q&As and monitoring that. But they probably would put it out there now that Daniel made that last phone call. You look at their report. They were talking about the last text message that he sent. But the phone call, yeah, at 9:28, he made a phone call to Ken. That was never returned, by the way. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, John Q, for being here. I really appreciate it, sir. You joining in. I really appreciate it. God bless you too. Thank you for everything you have been doing, support for me finding my Daniel. You've been very big help. You guys working in the background, you and the people that you're associated with as well. So I really appreciate you taking time off your YouTube channel and coming over to support. God bless you for that, brother. I really appreciate you. All right, S. Modern, I have a question here. We signed up for the search information months ago, but never received any emails. Yes, like this morning. I was saying this morning, there's some things that happen with those emails. I've been made aware, and I'm trying to figure out, you guys, a lot of times I didn't see it on the website. I had on the website, please help find Daniel, set up for receiving your text message and things like that. I mean, the website been built that way from the beginning. But I did allow certain things to come into the search, and some things have been changed. We had different things have been sent my way. But one thing for sure is that I later found out that, and I think it was this year, found out that a lot of the people were putting that, I think, because you said this morning the link wasn't please help find Daniel's page. And that's the problem. Did you know, do you have any other pages or links? No, I do not. And I told you guys before, I don't have any other pages. Everything's pleasehelpfinddaniel.com, right? When it comes to website, that's it. Nothing else. Pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. Ask you guys, can you please sign in for the search you guys want to search or whatever. Whenever I do have a search again, it's on pleasehelpfinddaniel.com, not on these other little things that's on Twitter and Facebook or whatever the case may be, some other website. No, I do not have people working on my behalf. You guys have tips and things like that. Nobody, and that's another thing. A lot of tips that should have been coming into myself and the family, my investigator especially. He was very frustrated. We found out it was going other places, right? So I would tell people up front, unless you hear me directly say it to you, which will never happen. No, I have things set up in a certain way to for the search itself. And if you guys have any tips, do not give tips to anybody that say they're associated with me, whether they was part of my team or not. Don't give them information. You can talk to me directly. If you have some tip that you want to give, put it on the tip line. That's what the tip line is for you have direct tip that would bring Daniel home. I was talking about. But if you have any other things that you want to talk about as well, I do have the please help find Daniel at yahoo.com. I do have a team that for that part. If you put on the website on the email, I have a team that helped me with the email. They know what to do with that. They would definitely, I promise you guys, anything that come on that website, they send me a text message or whatever case. If I'm on my own personal email address, anything y'all send an email, they'll personally tell me right up there. They don't be answering unless they ask. Sometimes they ask, hey, if it's something simple, Ms. Robinson, you want to answer that? Yes. Can you tell them blah, 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 so on, and they would do that. So the thing is, I'm saying is, you guys, I can talk for myself. You guys already know that. I speak for myself. Make sure everything's set up for Daniel. Everything's set up for Daniel. Everything that's set up for the searches is on pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. Pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. Don't need no help. Don't need another website. And again, if y'all have anything, somebody say, hey, I work with the Robinson family and this and that. No, they possibly help with the Robinson family, probably volunteer, but they don't speak for the Robinson family. They don't accept your information on my behalf. So I just want to make sure people are clear of that. So S Modern, that's what I heard you say that this morning, and I just want to address that again. So thanks so much for your question. Thank you, Regina, for being here. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate being here. I don't know if it's the same Regina, but thanks so much for, let's see here. All right. Now, I think it's the same Regina. I'm trying to see if you're Regina. I think you are, but I can't recognize your face there. But I just want to say thanks so much, Regina, for coming into the Q&A as well. I just want to make sure you're not the Regina. I do know that we talked to Alf in the background. So thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming in. I see here, and let's see. All right, there we go. Thanks for being a part of this Q&A. And thank you, Tatia, again, for putting the information up. I really appreciate that. Really, thank you so much. And, oh, it is the same Regina. I see you, Sophia, put that up. So I think it's the same Regina. Thanks so much again, Regina, for being here on this Q&A. So thank you, Sophia, for confirming that for me. I really appreciate that. Thanks so much for joining in. Thank you so much. All right. Anybody have any more questions, please, by all means, like Sophia have here, you can mark it off with the question mark before your question. Put the capital letter Q before your question, or the word question itself before your question. So when I'm coming down, I definitely can find it, because I have one from Regina. Thanks so much, Regina. Where can we as a community obtain physical flyers? Well, a couple of places. You go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. There's a PDF tab there. I asked people, I wanted to be pretty much the same size like a postcard. I'm laughing because I know what my team will say. That's personally. And I did that on purpose. Like I said, I brought it down to the postcard size for the purpose of people being able to carry a lot better when we can keep in their pocketbooks or the dashboard, their cars, glove compartment. Homeless population, keep it in their pockets or whatever. It's easy to carry than a whole big sheet of paper. But I need Daniel's story out there. I need his flyers out there. So if you're nice enough and you want to help, because it's very expensive printing these flyers out. So if you guys want to help, because I put thousands of flyers out, you guys. If you want to help and want to print them out yourself, that helps out a lot. I don't care what form it is. I really appreciate it. But these are the flyers here. It has the front and the back, of course. The front and back, of course, of Daniel. So it's a PDF. It's like I said, postcard style, but any kind of way. But that's one way. The other part is you can hit us up on pleasehelpfinddaniel@yahoo.com and request flyers. We'll send them out. We'll mail them out to you. I really appreciate that as well. Another thing is joining the ambassador program. Same difference. I can send the flyers out to you from right now to pass out in the community, but it's a commitment type deal. I talk about that in the ambassador program meeting, Zoom meeting that I have every Thursday at 5:00 p.m. The Zoom link is on pleasehelpfinddaniel.com on the front page. I missed last week because I had something come up, but you guys, it'll be right there for you. Tomorrow I will be there waiting for you to join in the Zoom. You have to put your information there because I have a lot of people come in. Some people weary about that. You put your information there to get your email address so I can know that you are a person, because there's some things that happens. Of course, people, some nefarious people out there, they just rather just try to make life hard for anybody, whether it's a family suffering or not. They do certain things. So definitely join in if you guys can. Please join in tomorrow at 5 o'clock and hear me out. What I'm trying to do with the best of the program. The best of the program would definitely help with other families, because with the foundation that's coming, you guys, I'll be launching that pretty soon, and it will help with the foundation as well. So definitely want you to join us. So there's different ways you can do that to get those flyers. If you live here in Arizona, we may can bring some out to you as well. I had a place where I used to meet volunteers at all the time behind the Walgreens, East McDowell, here in Phoenix. I haven't done it in a while, but some people can actually get them physically here, as long as you're here in Phoenix, as not or one of the neighboring cities not too far. So we may be able to work those out as well, or just mail them out to you. So thanks so much, Regina, for that question. All right, let's see here. Who else I have? Let's see. All right. Thank you for your question. I think it's a question. Has Buckeye investigated the guy from Twitter who said that some guy shot Daniel and buried him in the desert? The FBI should have been called. And I really believe that too. I really agree with that. The FBI should have been called into that situation. I did share that with the Buckeye Police Department. I tried to look into it myself. What I got back from them, pretty much the guy, they put it off as a guy have some mental issues. And they brushed that off. They brushed it off. And that's the kind of things you write. The FBI should have been looking into. Somebody admitted to a crime that they know of. And that's how the Buckeye Police. What I'm telling you guys, what appears to me is not a real effort to find Daniel. It's a real effort to make themselves look good. The little effort they can do. Hey, we went to, I heard them say the other day, went to New Mexico to follow a lead up. Hell, I went to other cities and places to follow a lead up. That's a basic thing you can do, right? When I say follow a lead up, they say they've been there. I don't have no real proof of that. I don't know. Let's go by word. Just to say, no, it wasn't him. It's some other guy that looked like him, right? That type deal. But at the same time, say something about some camera picture or something. And we saw the picture and then it looked like it. So you drove all there to look at the picture with something you can see from there. So it didn't add up with how he said it, but nevertheless, I'm just taking their word for it. What I'm saying is, yes, definitely, Tati, that definitely, to me, need to be investigated farther than what I was told. I don't want to put too much out what I was told because at the same time, it hurt what I'm trying to do as well, give information. So thanks so much. All right, and let's see who else I got here. Everybody have any more questions? Again, put the question mark like Hot Ham Radio did here. Put the word question there before you question, the question mark or capital letter Q. You want flyers in all states? Yes. I'll email. Yes, I need flyers in every state, every corner if I can. And I have been sending out thousands of flyers. Hot Ham Radio, sending out thousands of flyers. Handing out thousands of flyers and getting them out there. My thought, and I keep saying it over and over again, is that person that knows something but is living in a different city and I need to reach them. So the more eyes and more ears and everything, it comes with a lot of things as well. It comes with support. I need the support for what I'm doing here. And also at the same time, I definitely need Daniel's story out as far as I can get it. Because, that way, like I said, I'm reaching that person or person that may know something. So, all right, if I have any more questions, I'm just coming down really quickly here. I am past this 2-hour mark, but, I did put a lot of those videos up and it took a lot of time. PM channel have a question here. Ken Elliott is not trustworthy. Jeep crash at 1 o'clock p.m. 3 miles from the well site, and Ken heard nothing, saw nothing. He kept working. Would have seen something. It just left him. One thing I can say about that. One thing that puzzled me, my son, like I said, the last call he made to Ken, it was at 9:28. Ken said that I don't know. It's kind of he changed the story. Like I told y'all this morning, he changed the story so much from what I see on his interviews he's doing out there in the public to what I heard from the Buckeye Police Department and what he told me himself. And he gave me the thought that he immediately, when Daniel drove off, went to go looking. One minute he said, one testimony he was saying it was raining, the other one he said it wasn't. Then he said the rain washed all the tracks away, but so kind of way magical. If it was raining like that and Daniel left at 9 and you said it washed all the tracks away, right? And I knew it was Daniel's track because it washed everybody else's track, but it's Daniel's track, the only one survived. So you telling me for 4 to 6 hours after Daniel, he said he last seen Daniel, and it's raining, and somehow magically didn't just wash his tracks away, and I was able to follow his tracks. That don't make sense to me. Don't make sense to me. Now, if he would have left immediately, and the mud was kicking up, he said, "Oh, that's Daniel tracks right there." That might sound a little more plausible to me, right? But no, he's saying that he didn't know what was going on. He just told Steve, one of the guys at Matrix, what happened, and that was it. He told him what happened, and he just kept on working. And he was hearing periodically today what was going on. He said he heard nothing around 3 o'clock, I guess it was, and and that's when he gave a phone call to Dane's phone. So if you was really concerned and you told the company what happened, and you hearing that they haven't heard from Daniel, why didn't you call? He had Dane's phone number. He called early that morning to tell him don't come there because of fuel truck. Or something don't come just yet, or something, how you put it. A simple phone call. Why not? If you're so concerned about Daniel being missing and you did all this walking and hunting red tracks and say the police gonna come and this thing go national, why you never came to none of my searches? I did over 40-some weeks of searches, 35,000 acres of land, and you have not come to one search. Why not? If you're that concerned, why haven't you been to the searches? Why haven't you do anything? I don't believe all of this stuff. So long story short, to answer your question right there, I won't say. I just said, like, when you say he's not trustworthy, I would say I don't believe his story. I really don't. I don't believe that story at all, not a little bit. So that is me personally. So anyway, I just have a question here also for Taji. Thanks so much again. Have you contacted the network about the photos? Contact the network about the photos. I'm trying to think. Okay, the network should have asked you for pictures of things. Okay, I get what you're saying. You're talking about the show, the Disappeared. You guys, I talked about that this morning. I felt really horrible when I saw that episode. Of course, Discovery Discovery reached out to me in January, asked a few questions. They took my interview from a previous interview I did with one of their affiliates, I'm sure, out here in Scottsdale, Arizona, and they added it to that show. They talked to Dane's mother and also Dane's bit older brother, and they added their because they did talk to me in January. They asked me that I think the family would like to do an interview. Told them they can try, but I guess they succeeded. They say, "Oh, we'll get it." Okay, great. So they succeeded. But like I said, it came out. They told me it was going to come out this fall, whatever they put together. But when I saw it, I was very disappointed. I'll be honest with you guys. It was very hurtful. The hurtful part for me was the betrayal. There's a lot of things that's not accurate. I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to let it ride. But the hurtful part for me was the betrayal of Daniel. I spent over a year fighting against this narrative to try to set my son off to be some person that's a stalker. Try to make this young lady the victim when my son is the victim. I fought this narrative against my son being brilliant to even a former investigator putting out a wild theory that's a baseless wild theory that's not based on any evidence found in my son's vehicle, that he somehow got hold of something. Just throwing out theories out there. So I had to fight that. I had to fight a lot of stuff, right, that comes along to keep people's minds focused. The fact that my son is the victim. He's missing. He's a brilliant young man. Like I said, graduated with honors. A founder of a fraternity. Very friendly, oriented, loving person. Have high dreams, high aspirations. His goals. He always sees a very thoughtful young man. When he do things, he's thoughtful. Love his family. So keep those things kind of focused on that, because that's who Danny is. You can't take a sum of a day Well, worker will say, "Oh, he was acting a little," or a week to focus on Dan's entire life. Dan's 24 years old when he went missing. You're not going to take nobody's in my presence gonna take a moment. For instance, like the Buckeye Police Department say, yeah, his sister said he was at the department. That was a month before he went missing. So something that happened weeks before my son went missing is relevant to him going missing because he stared off I stare off at a wall sometimes and be in deep thoughts. So it's crazy stuff like that I have to keep fighting against. And then I see an episode like that when I don't know where they got these pictures from, of course. Of course, there's not real pictures. They don't say, oh, this is an actual photo of Daniel's apartment. So I kind of get it. I know what networks do. They find these pictures and they go by what the family's saying or whatever the case may be. And they put this nasty portrayal of Daniel's apartment. Something unlike my son. Unlike my son, I know my son. I've been there from birth. I'm not a father who's a deadbeat father or someone that had been around. I've been there when he came out of his mother's womb. I was there. Holding the child at 3 years old. So long story short, I know a lot about my son comparative to anybody who's whether on a job to whatever, or you guys have opinions out there in the street. I know my child a lot better. Don't get me wrong. We grow up and we do things that our parents may not approve, something a little different. So we do grow up and do little things. But I have a good idea of certain little areas about my son, his psyche and the way he thinks. And so it was offensive. It was very offensive to say, hey, they told you they make these long videos, they take out a little pieces they want, and I'm sure to say, oh yeah, he was troubled. He was a trouble, basically. I forgot what that words. And his house was the dishes was in the sink, and they had this really nasty pictures and this bag of trash. I think it was like I don't know what it was, blood. I don't know what it was in this bag, but it's about to blow up of disgusting stuff, rotten meat or whatever the case may be. And it made my son look like that. I'm like, where this come from? Where did this come from? So, long story short, I haven't come out here to Arizona to have focuses on my son to be as if he did this to himself somehow. No, the focus is to what it really is. You see the scene behind me? Again, it would be no question it was just a law enforcement vehicle. That was a police cruiser sitting on the side like that, and they found in the desert the same day on June 23rd, and they found on the side there the officer uniform lying on the ground. You best believe it's a criminal automatic investigation. I don't care how strange they were trying to say on the job that he was acting or whatever case may be. Criminal. They ain't gonna say his uniform on the ground or he ran off some animal, got him, or he joined a monastery, tell his family, join a monastery, become a monk. That would never happen in a million years. You guys know good and well this whole place, every Phoenix Police Department, Tempe, all of them, Glendale, all of them be raining down in Buckeye. I want to say the F word. I'm sure my auntie or whoever watching, I am a grown man, but I want forget. They'll be like, forget jurisdiction. We're gonna come in here and find this cop, or his family, his son or daughter, So they choose who they want to be very active about. But anyway, the whole point, I got off track. I was very offended by that, Tatia. And so that's why you guys saw me this morning put up that the real footage. I had to go through some things. I don't share a lot of things on Q&A. Y'all might think I tell everything. I don't tell a lot. A lot of things I still got in my what I have in my investigation stuff. And I don't get to show you everything and get to tell you guys everything. But I can tell you I had to pull that out. It was really, I didn't want to put Daniel's apartment, anything, out in the public. But I had to do that to protect him, to protect his honor, protect his character, to protect who he is as a young man growing up in this world where the world is not always fair. So I want to make sure that didn't happen to my son. I went through a rough time, so I'm definitely make sure my son. So we can go there another day as well. Were you ever able to? Thank you, Lady V, by the way, for being here. Were you able to find out? Were you able to find out who was the guy who met you at the gate before you got to speak to Ken? If you don't know who he is, do you recall what he looks like? Very heavy set guy. I do have pictures of him. I do have the pictures of the conversation. I told you I carry witnesses with me. I keep receipts about everything. And I do have his face. I know his picture. I know how he look and all the stuff. But no, I don't know who he is. Like I said, he was a very big protector of Ken for whatever reason. Wanted to find out what I want to talk to him about, what I want to, why do I want to speak to him? Hey, I'm the father of Daniel. I just want to ask him what he know. And the guy wanted me to get in the vehicle with him. I mean, it's really a strange thing. His vehicle was really nasty and disgusting. We won't say nasty disgusting. It was nasty food trays or whatever. That's what you say. You take a picture and look at them like, I don't know. He's a really sloppy guy himself. And threw all the stuff on the floorboard and said, hey, I'll take you down there. Well, how far does it? Oh, man, it's about, first they told me it was about 15 miles, all kinds of crazy numbers he gave me. I'm like, I'm not leaving these ladies. I had 2 ladies there with me. My daughter's 1. I'm not leaving these ladies up on the side. No, I'm not getting in the vehicle with you. Oh, no, this is just a short ride. I can get. And all of a sudden, that's when it turned to 1 mile or whatever. Oh, no. I said, no, I'll be okay. You tell Ken he can come on up here, and I'll talk to him. And I talked to him right at that gate. You guys, I showed you at the beginning of this Q&A. I met him right there when I had that U-Haul truck, just like my son met him in the same spot. I met him there, but I was on the inside of the gate. Met him there, and that transaction was kind of weird too as well. But like I said, that other guy, yes, I don't know who he is. He was just acting strange. He got on the phone with Ken after he grilled me to try to figure out what I want to talk to him about. He talked to him phone. He must have thought I was an earshot of what he had to say. He pulled his vehicle forward and then pulled back when he finished the conversation. And then say, "Oh yeah," he said he's coming up. That type deal. So whatever that was all about, that's exactly how that transaction went. Very highly suspicious. They want to say suspicious stuff in nature. That's it. Thank you, East Coast Stitcher. Thanks so much for that super chat. I really appreciate you. That's really, God bless you for that. Thank you so much. Again, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for showing your love and your support to this channel. You guys right now, if you guys are part of this Q&A and your first time here, even if you're not the first time, you can hit that like and share, subscribe button. That definitely help this algorithm get this channel out farther. Help more people. More people I have like and share, subscribe to the channel, the better chances I do have getting Daniel's story out a lot farther. So you guys can help me that way. I really and it also was able to open up that thing called a super chat. So I don't know how to use all the stuff yet. I added the super chat to there because I do have Gizla K from Grizzly True Crime, who actually helped me get this channel going. She's always there. Hey, you can do this now. You can do this. She's very excited about that stuff. I just don't really have the time. I've been really trying my best to get a time to actually go through this YouTube thing and get little things. I can hold my hand up and point at a little spot and say, hey, hit that like, share, and subscribe. I don't have the time to go through all of that. I'm just a guy that's been working really hard, barely get sleep, doing everything I can to find Daniel and also to help other people. So to do the little small thing, the little detail to give y'all some exciting content or whatever case may be, I just don't have the time to really put it together like that. So I just want to tell you thanks so much, East Coast Stitcher. Thanks so much for that super chat. God bless you for that, like I said, and I really appreciate you for that. All right, Barry, thanks so much for your question, and thanks so much for everything you do as well. How did you respond to him when Ken told you that he knew after the meeting, Daniel, that it would be a big story someday and that it would blow up? I was stunned, but you know what? One thing I have learned when I was in the military, and that's what I did to get him to speak, is he told me the story. I mean, it was verbatim as what the police department Officer Cruz at the time told me on the phone on the way up here from South Carolina, and what this guy said verbatim. And when I finally got this report, hindsight, exactly. Mr. Officer Cruz wrote exactly how he told me personally as well. And after a little brief conversation, like I said, it's a tactic that we learned in the military as well. It's almost like befriending the person, get them calm, because he was really tense. Like I told you, he got in the vehicle. The first thing he did, got in the vehicle. I'm standing there now. I had no gun in my hand, no bat, nothing. Just standing there, right, with 2 young ladies at the gate. And he got out that truck, that white utility truck. And the first thing he did is open the side of the utility truck. Is like a little compartment that sit on the side. He stuck his hand in there like he's about to pull a weapon out. I'm military. I'm watching hands. He just stand there and say, yeah. And he was talking to me from that angle until he finally relaxed himself. He still left that hatch down for that reason, but he got relaxed and then started talking. When he started talking, like I said, he did that verbatim thing, the straight, just like he did with the police department. And then after that, we had a conversation about the Buckeye Police Department saying, because I asked him, hey, look, how he been out there the whole entire time since Daniel went missing. He's been working out there every day at the well site, all day, he said. And I said, look, so you was here when they did this search at the well site and this uses Phoenix Firebird helicopter to look for Daniel. Well, I ain't personally seen him, but I heard they're supposed to be doing something like that. I ain't personally seen him. So I'm thinking in my head, like, did Phoenix ever really did come out there? Did Buckeye make that up? No, they just something they just told us as a family. And so, that's puzzle. And then he got to, like I said, a little more comfortable. I didn't say that him. A lot of things I was just listening. I'm a person that like to listen. People tell you everything that you need to hear. You just need to listen sometimes. And that's what happened. He started telling me other things. When he told me in my mind, of course, I'm like, man, that is wow. How he even come up with that? So definitely, yes, that first thing that came to my mind is thinking about that. But at the same time, like I said, I didn't react to it because I need to get much as I can because I was doing my own investigation as well. And part of being part of taking investigating, I'm learning quick. I'm a quick learner, is to not be emotional and show certain those things. Just let people talk. Just allow them to talk and build their confidence, build their trust in the sense you want to put it that way. Do have a question here from Lady V. Thank you, Lady V. I was about to miss that. Question: did Daniel's phone need a memory card to work? No, it didn't need a memory card to work, but it had one. Well, at least I would assume that Daniel put the memory card that he asked me for in that phone, but it was missing. If it worked without a memory card, why did he need one? Because he used a lot. I have a memory card in my phone. I make sure I have memory cards. We have memory cards so we can store. It's called more storage. You add more storage to your phone, and you need that if you were to, like Daniel, take a lot of pictures. To you name it. He's a geologist. He go hiking. He does things. I'm sure he uses a lot of data. He's a gamer, so you definitely need those storage spaces on your phone. So that's the reason why people put memory cards in their phone. I have never known the time I ever used any of my phones without a memory card, but that's what you do. Some are larger than others. He just wanted one with more space. He asked for it. He's using it. I don't, you have to ask him. He asked for it. He must want to use it. I know I use them myself. So, all right. Barry, thanks so much again. I think this is the same question. I want to make sure. Ken apparently never knew that terrain and area very well. Did he ever come out to any searches? No, he did not. And I just mentioned that earlier, you guys. That's one thing that puzzles me most. If you're so concerned about Daniel, how come you never came to the searches? How come after that point you never came to me and said, hey, Mr. Robinson, I'm really apologize. And this is way before I even mentioned Ken. Before I even had a Q&A. I didn't even have a Q&A. So you never hear me even say anything about Ken or his story or whatever the case may be. But he has never came out to the searches. Never came out to searches, never offer any kind of, I'm gonna say all those people at that area, never offer anything. When I'm saying in terms of we're praying for you or something, or whatever the case may be. No, never gotten that from him. So no, he never came to the searches at all. What did Buckeye do about the threats from last year? Nothing. The guy who texts you saying that he knows who has Daniel and that they broke his legs and told you to meet with him. I don't know how you got the information, but definitely that. I think I must have said that in an interview before. But yes, definitely. Yes. I don't know who the guys is. Of course, these people from my investigator told me they was calling from a burner phone. They're using burner phones, and then they somehow got to my email and then put their little threats there as well. But yes, I don't know who these people are. Buckeye Police Department know about that. Of course, as usual, anything that's going to lead towards Daniel case becoming any kind of way criminal, they dodge from that. They dodge for those facts, and they'll brush them off and things like that. Just like the guy who said he's a federal law enforcement agent. That was brought to me by my then search coordinator. He came out to assault us. He said he went to us because Buckeye didn't listen to him, that he says to my people. But anyway, I looked at him. Of course, I had a little judgment just by appearance. And I'm like, not really. I'm like an agent. I sent him to my investigator, who in turn, my investigator then, Jeff McGrath, along with this search coordinator, while I'm busy, told me they vetted his story. He is an FBI. Not FBI, but a federal law enforcement officer. I even verified double with my investigator at the time doing my family press conference when I was telling you guys about him, and found out he's not. Not only did he did impersonating cop before in his life, but he has some other things going on as well. So it turned out for me to be he just lied. He changed the time from seeing my son at 1 o'clock to 10 when he found out that we know that the first accident happened around 1 o'clock that day. So it's things like that. So I talked to Buckeye this year in January about it. At that little bogus search of that well, like I told you, they didn't put that camera in the water, and asked about this gentleman. They said, "Oh, we vetted his story." He told me he was going up there to talk to Buckeye. "Oh, we vetted his story, and he's credible." I said, "What about the stuff in his past, his lies and the?" "Well, they ain't got nothing to do with it. We really believe." So you really believe this guy? I don't. So I don't believe that. I don't believe anything he had to offer towards my son disappearance. So just like this, what you were saying with that last year, the threats and things like that. No, they didn't move on it. Like I said, I went to the FBI about it, who told me to, go to Buckeye and have them reach out, and they haven't. Questions with Ken's story changes 3 times. Has he been? Thank you, Sophia, for the question. I didn't realize I'm reading it. With Ken's story changing 3 times, has he been re-questioned or interrogated at this point? I don't think nobody have been interrogated except for me and my daughter. And I told you guys this before. There's another receipts I have as well. Only person I think that would ever been in an interrogation room at Buckeye Police Department concerning my son's case is me and my daughter. This is when I told you guys I was sitting in their interrogation room. I realized it was an interrogation room hindsight now. They put us in the room. They had us come in the back of the police department. They're through the back door. We came through the back door, sat into this room. I've never been in an interrogation room before, so I only seen those things on television. But sitting there, me and my daughter, and they asking us about bank statements, and we give them information trying to be helpful. And like I told you, this same as that phone. This is the phone itself. Strolling down the phone across the table, and they put in a report. We obtained phone records and stuff with the aid of the family, and that's exactly how they received it. Sitting across the table, looking at it from their eyes, then writing it down and getting up, just take eyes and take send me a photocopy of that or nothing, that type deal. And also the bank stuff. So we're there, and that's when my daughter had to sit there for a while to say we could think of anything. This is how they put it. Think of anything that seemed odd. So my daughter sitting there very hard and bring up something that happened a couple of weeks ago, like you guys say, staring off and the distance, whatever that was, and things like just trying to find something, right? That seemed, when you have a missing loved one, it's very difficult to to try to navigate your emotions and things like that, because you're really concerned. You're trying to help the police as you can to try to find some of these answers. So yeah, we was willing to do anything with this department to try to find answers to what happened to Daniel, and those answers led to that same narrative that they wanted to keep. They're still trying to keep, that Daniel is somehow disturbed or he was going through some mental crisis from depression or whatever. Okay, I'm depressed. I'm down. I have a missing son, but it ain't gonna cause me to go missing. It ain't cause me not to be able to be effective to fight for my son. Yeah, it's depressing to have a missing son. How you think I'm going to act sometimes? Sometimes you guys, I've been trying to be very cordial, and then I start snapping and get a little angry. You guys can tell because my tone may change somewhat. It's hard. It's very hard, and it's normal. It's normal to be that way. So, long story short, again, I was not let anybody try to destroy Daniel's character, and so I'll make sure I look out for him. Tia and Wildflowers, thanks so much for being here again on Q&A. Has there been any follow-ups on with Daniel's job about the liability of his disappearance? Not that I know of, not from my end. My concern is to find Daniel, and that's what I've been doing. I don't like their non-actions. I speak about that a lot. My auntie did speak with them as well to make sure they put better protocols when they send. I heard they've changed some of that stuff, but put better protocols when they send these geologists out there by themselves in no man's land, meeting one person somewhere, from another company. He was on their time, and exactly. I shouldn't have had to spend or beg you guys for. I won't say beg because I don't ask people for money, but I had to for Daniel's sake. And the thing is, asking people for money to get searches going and doing things I was doing here in Arizona. That's a company. They should be bankrolling all this search stuff. That's their worker. They should have did it. I shouldn't have had to come to from South Carolina almost over 2,000 miles away driving. They should have already had a search party out there for Daniel. Should have already had the helicopters, dogs. They can afford that stuff. So yes, of course, I agree with that as well. They didn't even give him an exact location to the second job site. Obviously not, because he did send a text message asking for location. So you guys, I can't tell you that. right? And that was a little after 8 o'clock. So that's what y'all see on that report. And one of what that text messages was is Daniel testing him for locations. John C. Adams. If y'all missed your question, apologize. John C. Adams, do you know what type of vehicle Kennedy drove and what color? Is a white vehicle. I just know utility vehicle. I'm guessing some type of Dodge Ram or something like that. If I remember correctly, if I look at the pictures again, I will let you know, but something similar to that. All right. He was good. Jay Merlin, the Messy. Thank you again for coming in to this Q&A. Question here, Mr. Robinson, how did you get in contact with, how do I get in contact with you? That's please help find Daniel at yahoo.com. You can leave a message there as well as the phone number there. The phone number, I tell you guys, it is so much people. It came through so hard and so frequently. It's hard to get to all of those messages. And I really apologize for weeks of people trying to reach out. It's hard. More and more that people get involved. I wish I had some type of assistance that really helped. I do have a team doing the best they can. They're definitely doing, tremendous jobs on other fronts. But when it comes to like messages and things like that, sometimes it's hard to get through them. So that's the one way I can tell you is please help find Dan at yahoo.com or the number you saw, 803-200-7994. The information you see here in this Q&A. I tried to put in the information on the comments section. Like I said, this on your morning live cast. The comment section kept scrubbing my information. CQT. I'm not sure of that. If you guys have any, I can tell you this right here too. I instructed the administrators to be able to, when I say administrator, the moderators is the word I want to use. I instructed the moderators. If you have any YouTube channel that started in a day or in this month or something like that, a lot of times those would be the problems I have when people start putting porn up and different things. So what we do is we scrub those people. So I don't know, Jay Marley, if you just created your page for the first time, that could be some of the reasons why. I'm not sure, but definitely I just want to make sure you guys know that, yes, thanks so much. And thanks so much. I try to see what all you put in here. Jay Merlin, the Messy, receive your reposeful message sent today on Daniel's GoFundMe page with email address sent under your David Robinson Organizer section. Again, this is important. So thank you so much. If you have a tip, I just want to tell you this. If you have a tip, please use the tip line. I will put that on the bottom of the screen as well. Use the tip line. And like I said, you can stay anonymous. If you don't want to share who you are, give me a second, you guys. If you don't want to share who you are, Jay Merlin, again, it's important for you to use that tip line. That is for, we could chat. Say my investigator or, this chat. So if you want to use that tip line, excuse me, use that tip line, you can. So definitely do that. If you have any information that you want to share, I'm assuming that you have some information you want to share. Please utilize that tip line. That is for. All right, Barry B, thanks so much. Who was the first individual eyewitness to discover the crash vehicle? It was the rancher, or was it a team of Buckeye Police Department who happened to who happened upon it? The individual that eyewitness to discover that crash vehicle was a rancher, according to the rancher who found it. He obviously with some of his workers as well. He said 2 to 3 days prior to July the 19th, when the vehicle showed up there, he was going down this ravine. I can wish I orient myself this way. This ravine runs from, let me orient my hands right, from north to south, north to south. So if you go like up here north, then you come down the way south right there, south this way. That's how the ravine runs. It runs downhill, to make a long story. It don't look like it on the picture, but it actually runs downhill. Those cattle, you guys have saw on the first part of this Q&A, those cattle run down that ravine. And so that's how he tracks them. He tracks them. He says this, I'm just going by his story. He tracks them. They go down the ravine often to make it to this corral. He's right. There's a corral south. Water runs south, of course, down this ravine. If it rains, but that's downhill. But it runs south. when you get to this corral. But he said it was there 2 to 3 days prior. The vehicle wasn't there. He's seen if cattle came through that area. They didn't come yet. So he came back, like I said, 2 to 3 days after that point, which was on July the 19th. And he said, lo and behold, that vehicle was there. That was his story. So that's the only thing. Buckeye Police, like I said, to this day, haven't found a construction cone in the desert. They haven't found anything. It's out of there. I don't know. I'm not going to say this, but definitely they haven't found anything. Nobody, but according to the rancher, he found that. And of course, you guys know in my searches, we found a lot of things out there in the searches. But thanks so much for your question, Barry. Also, Tatia, thanks so much for your question. Who was the guy that lied about being a federal agent? I can't put his name out there, but definitely I could put his first name, but I'm not going to put his name out there tonight. Your investigator said they interviewed him. Yes, they did. They say that. Did Buckeye tell you he was not a federal agent? No, they did not. I got the information from other sources. Do you believe they really interviewed him? Well, according to him himself, the guy before, I was trying to get information, more information from this guy, because I stopped believing the story, but I needed this information because at the point I started looking at him as a suspect. But one of the things is I can throw it and say that no. I can say they did interview him because he did say he's going up. He called me and said, "Hey man, I'm going up." This one I was still working with him. I'm going up here to talk to Buckeye Police Department. He's really, really excited about that for whatever reason. He got out there. He said he's gonna call me when he got out of there. He didn't call me for like 2 days. He was not answering his phone. I thought they probably arrested him or something crazy. Oh no, I just had to go back to work when I finally got in contact with him. But I was getting information from this guy until internet sleuth or whatever came out to the searches and just screwed up a whole investigation trying to get more information. He started putting the man's information out in public, just going real wild with this information, and so that got shut down. So I didn't get all the information I could have gotten if this internet person, I think it was Twitter, some guy off of Twitter, was going around being really messy, kind of messed that up for investigative stuff. But no, I don't believe his story or take his story at all into consideration. Buckeye do. They say they verify his story. They believe it. But anyway, I wonder if they, question from Aaron Chase. Thank you, Aaron, again, for all the work you do. I wonder if they wanted to keep you away from the well because you discovered it's not viable, which might be what Daniel discovered. It's a possibility, or they was trying to keep me from seeing what's in it. So I look at it a lot of different ways about the well. And the thing is, you can say that this could be seemingly kind of true to Aaron because they're currently, every time I go up there to that area, they're constantly putting in new well sites. I'm getting y'all guys to the end. I'm actually to a 3-hour mark. That's a new record, I'm sure, for me. I think my team probably tired. I think they're disappearing on me. So I just want to say thank you so much for coming in. Country Girl, I have a question here. Did Daniel have cameras so he could of went and looked down these wells? No, his job is not that. He just collect these samples. He do these. Get a machine to check the water levels. That's the kind of things he does. But no, he don't use camera. His company do. His company, just like the company I use for that well inspection, his company do. I want to put this up too. Thank you so much for your super chat, Valoma. If I can say the name, thank you so much. I really appreciate it again for that. But his company does that. They go into where they go get other companies that go into doing these well inspections and stuff like that. So, all right. I think that's it, you guys. I really want to answer the rest of these questions. I would love to get to all of this. I do have one last one, I think, from Karita. Thank you, Karita, for being here. Thanks for everything you do as well. Is there any specific you would like prayer for? For strength, directions, and to get answers. I definitely need answers. I've been doing this for over a year. I need you guys to pray that I get these answers. I wanted y'all to pray that I can get this case moved out of Buckeye into the proper hands where it belongs. I really pray for that as well. I'm really be pushing that. I want you guys to pray for me because I'm really gonna be pushing that because I'm in a desperate time, in a desperate space, and I my son is missing. And so this case needs to be removed out of Buckeye and put in the proper place and be handled correctly. I just want to say, Chrisette, thank you so much, Chrisette. I think his name for the name there for the super chat. I really appreciate it. I see that as it's coming down on the other screen on the YouTube side. But yes, that's what I would like to have prayer for, specific, something specific that myself and your viewers can pray on, and that's what I would like. Pray for Daniel's mother and his siblings as well. I know they're having a hard, I don't get to hear much of their feelings, but pray for them as well, my family. J.C. Adams, was the first time that the well was scanned. Was that the first time the well was scanned? Yes. Yes. According to what I know, since Daniel went missing, yes, I never had to be done by me. Like I told you, Buckeye Police Department used this bogus scan that only went to the surface of the water. On one well site, they didn't even go check the well site. They claimed that Daniel was at. But the one I'm thinking Daniel was at, yes, I did that both. Both of them, had both of them done. If it has been scanned before, could a comparison and contrast be done with dates? I'm not sure. Well, I can't say it was never scanned before, but it wasn't done since Daniel went missing. Now, before Daniel actually worked with Matrix, I'm sure that wells have had some type of prior inspection or something. Question here: could them girls be connected with drug activities or trafficking that the PI has researched? Possibly, very possible. Everything is possible at this point in Daniel's case. I knew they'll try to make sure I don't leave nothing. How they say it, no stone unturned. Question here, thank you, Loretta. Has a timeline been established that you can share? Yes, it's been established. I have a lot of timeline. I have yet to put it up. I'm working on it now. Matter of fact, I have this one, which I can say their name right now, but that's working with that timeline as well, and it's helping me out as well because I've been trying to make sure I get this timeline out for you guys that I have comparison to what Buckeye have been putting out. Question: will you be able to have law enforcement, FBI, or someone investigated that we further that will further to see what's there? Yeah, I would like that. I would like that. I'm really pushing for that, Karen. And thank you so much for showing up on this Q&A as well. But I'm really pushing for that. I'm really pushing for it. Another question that's modern again. Did Buckeye investigate the guy on the Instagram page that posted a while? Okay, I think I answered that question before on a while back that Daniel is being held against his will. They are evil people. Yes, I think so. Well, Buckeye just say they. If you're talking about the same guy, I said, like I said before, trying to put him off as mentally ill, and it ain't nothing to it, basically. What did the owner of the second well think about the debris that was found in the well? I'm not sure. I didn't get any feedback from that. I just know he get a report from that company. All right, I have a question here as well. With forensics showed when Daniel's phone was scrubbed. I hope so. That's I really hope so. When I get his answers back from all his electronics, I hope it shows a lot of things. That's what I really hope so for. I mean, that'll be a blessing. Aaron Chase, do I have your permission to take screenshots from the well and send it to Connie Fisher, FBI Missing Persons Program Manager? Yes, you do. You have permission for that as well. I really appreciate that. And everything else you do, Aaron, you already know that. Martini Marie, have a question. Have there been any organized protests regarding Daniel? That's coming up pretty soon. I told you this morning. I'm planning that right now. We're going to have some protests, and I've asked you guys to back me up. We're going to show up and show out. Show out and show up, whatever the case may be. Well, how you want to put it. Make a statement, and we will be marching on to Buckeye and any other law enforcement that's needed, but definitely Buckeye. All right? Tatia, and I will be putting that on policehelpfinddaniel.com when I come up with a date and get some permits and things like that set up. So you guys be aware of that as well. Who is the death on the police report? On the Buckeye Police Report, the same day that Daniel's Jeep was found. I'm not sure. I'm looking into that as well. That's the questions I have for Buckeye. I have a list of questions for Buckeye. I'm still waiting on this picture. They answered my call. I called them the other day, and it's been going on 3 days now. They didn't call back. They don't want to give me this picture of this well site or those. I suspect it ain't none. In this video, whatever case that he was at this pump for, or whatever they came up with. And I want to see it. All right. And as well as, like you said, those information, some other things. I have a list of things for Buckeye to answer questions on that they put out in the public, so they need to give me these answers so that I don't want to hear them hiding about, we're doing the investigation that they just started. They haven't been doing the investigation in the past. So, all right. And you said I will be watching. I just saw Black Lives Matter. I just want to say that I will be watching too when the tables turn on Buckeye PD for all in God's timing, and it is, and I really appreciate that. You coming. Thank you, Chris Setta. Thank you so much. And I really say that again. Thanks so much for that super chat and really supporting this channel and really putting helping me with my morale and things like that. So thanks so much. Also, thank you, Pamela, for your question. Has Daniel bank records been checked before and after he went missing for any? Yes, there's no movements at all. I know his wallet was found at the crash site. Maybe he had more than one credit card, of course. Yes, we monitor those things as well up to this date. Q, the information I have should not be shared. Yes, please go to the tip line. Put that tip line. It's right down the bottom of the screen there, Jay Merlin. Please utilize that tip line. You can correspond back and forth as well. You can stay anonymous. I wouldn't know who you are, even when I'm having a conversation with you or whatever. We can do it that way. It'll be a lot easier for you as well. It'd be a lot easier for myself as well because I have to get into those whenever they come up, those messages. So thanks so much. If you go on that tip line, you don't have to talk to anybody. You just text the word tip to that line and the number, and then this form will come up. And you can get everything you want to say through there. You get an option on the bottom to have a direct conversation. Even anonymous, you have a direct way of talking to myself or investigator about anything you'd like to share. So, all right, thanks so much again. All right, Aaron Chase, thank you so much. Are you allowed to go to the well, or are you, or they keeping you away? I'm really finding out because I do have a search coming up, you guys, and I really find out from what I heard last that Buckeye put in place with the owners. That's what I'm hearing. I can't verify that just yet, and I will be doing that with the owners to keep me out of the desert now, right? Without coming through them. I think that's how it was worded. Without coming through them, they set up some things. I had to go through them to do it, or I guess I'll be breaking the law. So they have a way to try to arrest me, I'm sure. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Much love to your family. Thank you, Mr. Q. I really appreciate you guys. I really thank everybody. I really love y'all guys, everybody for hanging in there. You guys, again, do not leave without hitting a like, share, subscribe button if you can. Please do so. I really need to get Daniel's story out there again. I just want to tell you thanks so much again. I will be putting so much videos up as well. I'll see you guys who coming into the tomorrow afternoon at 5 to join me for the ambassador program. This, like I said, on policehelpfinddaniel.com, the front page, hit that Zoom link at 5 p.m. Arizona time. That's California time as well. It's 8 p.m. Eastern time to join in with me on that. Just hear me out. Just hear me out about the ambassador program and how you can help. So if you guys can join in with that, that's what it's for. You guys, I'll be limited on time, but I just want to let you know I definitely was spending 30 minutes or as needed, 30 minutes of time right there to explain to you guys about the ambassador program. So go to policehelpfinddaniel.com. On that front page, hit the Zoom link at 5 o'clock p.m. tomorrow, Arizona and California time. That's 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So thank you again. And also, like I said, for everything, you guys, I really appreciate you. I try to think, and also look out for the Daniel Robinson Foundation to be be launched pretty soon. So we can get to work, try to help other people as well. So thank you again. I love you all. God bless you.